Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome, friends. We're so glad that you're back with us. This is Proficiency Bonus. We are live with Storm King's Thunder, episode 30 this evening. It's crazy. We are at 30 episodes now of Storm King's Thunder. We're so excited to have you guys with us tonight as we embark on this fantastical journey through Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. And our party is just realizing some very detrimental things as we come on air tonight. So the
Great
last
timing.
yeah, it's perfect timing. It's outstanding. It's great. Just a couple quick shout outs. We want to throw out shout outs to Team MZ for all their support of small streamers like us. Want to also thank Many Sided Dice and Nightshade Creations for partnering with us. If you'd like more information on those two companies, you go ahead and scroll down below our Twitch video and you'll be able to see a couple links under there. You can go ahead and click on those and check out what they have to offer. I'd highly encourage you to do that. A very quick recap from what happened 2 weeks ago. We were off last week, but if you didn't get a chance to tune into that awesome one shot that Matthew ran for the put together group last time, I'm going to try to get those videos put up on YouTube very shortly. I've been out of town on vacation, just kind of getting settled back in. So, a quick recap from last time that we were together for episode 29. Our group had devised a plan as frost giants were raiding the town of Fireshear. And their plan consisted of having Muffin become invisible, sneak down the cliffside, with a backpack full of grease, where he was going to take it to the giant's longship, which they could tell contained between 8 and 10 frost giants. Over across the frozen, icy bay of the town, he was going to place the bag full of grease onto the longship and set it ablaze. And during all of this time, the rest of the party was going to kind of run distraction to kind of keep the other frost giants at bay, which they were able to do relatively, well, not without a few bumps and bruises along the way, as Lachlan had a helmet thrown at him from one of those wonderful giants, and Joel and Orangepeel nearly crushed to death, being trapped under one of the frost giants' large nets that they carry with them. At the end of the episode, Muffin was able to get the fiery blaze started on the frost giant longship, sending many of them overboard into the water, and some of them running across the frozen bay to seek their friends and seek refuge in Fireshear. So I'm going to bring you guys over to the party as we get started. Everybody say hello. You are now live, friends. They're all really excited underneath. Don't be fooled by the brash and harsh exterior this evening.
According to plan.
It's all according to plan. That's right. So, as we begin, as our adventure begins tonight, Muffin, you are currently standing on the ice, I don't know, about 20 to 30 feet away from this longship, that as you're watching the fire start to consume some of the wooden planks of the deck and start to climb up the dragon sails, you can see that the sails themselves are made out of the wings of a white dragon, and they actually start to set on fire as well. You can see the smoke starts to billow. The frost giants are reaching with these giant wooden buckets down over the other side of the boat, and they're filling them with this icy cold water, and they're rushing. You could see them all like frantically rushing, shouting these things in giant, which you can just you hear. It's so just all these words coming out. It's hard to tell, but you can hear like, fire, put it out, things like that, just running back and forth as they're going, and they're just grabbing these buckets and dumping it onto, but unfortunately it's a grease fire. Therefore, it is just spreading the grease across the deck with the water, which is not allowing it to mix. It's not putting the fire out. It's just spreading it along the deck. And so you're seeing that this grease is just consuming every part of the deck. And you can see also that whenever they're splashing, some of the grease is splashing up onto some of the giants. You see a female frost giant just totally get engulfed with flame as she is just screaming and just billowing, and she just launches herself off of the side of the boat on the other side, and you just see icy cold water just splash up in this tall spout on the other side of the boat. And as that water splashes down on the boat, it spreads the fire more, and it continues it continues on. You can see the oars that they had kind of sticking out. Some of those are caught ablaze. And this black, this just awful thick billowing smoke just pouring from this this boat. Some of the frost giants were able to kind of jump onto the ice and are sprinting basically across the ice towards Fireshear. You can see one of them is actually a little bit bigger than the rest, and he seems to be adorned in some not only tattered leather armor, but he's also got some of these like furs and stuff that he's wearing as he launches over. You kind of assume maybe that he might have been the leader of this outfit or the captain of this longship, as he's actually running with a couple of his other frost giant companions across this icy frozen bay. As you kind of look to your right, you can see kind of bobbing in the water about maybe 25 feet away from you, where the ice kind of just dissipates into the ocean. You can see the body of a female frost giant face down, just floating in the water. Kind of this almost like sound and just a little bit of this steam rising from the water as it looks like the flesh of this giant has completely been burned and just blackened to the look. And that's where you find yourself, Muffin.
Muffin is gonna just sort of watch one's running towards Fireshear. I really thought they were supposed to be calling the others down, so, leave the city, not charging further in. And start looking around. Can I see any of the rest of the group? Can I see any of them, up where they were fighting if I look over that way or back towards the path where I came out of?
The cliffside is way too high to see up top, but you can see Kentucky kind of waiting for you down in these like shrubs that are off to the bottom of the trail that led you down here. He's kind of like looking out there. Like you can see him. He kind of is looking out towards you, then looking back at the dead frost giant that landed behind him last week, and then looks back at you, and he's just looking back and forth. He's not really sure what to do. He's just kind of sitting there waiting and hiding.
And the part that we came out of, is it like an opening in the side, or could a giant potentially get through that section, or no?
It would be a lot harder for a giant than it would be for a smaller creature. It's a very small trail that somebody would really have to be looking to find it.
Okay. Just look at one thing real quick.
I'm flying down, by the way.
Oh, you're flying down?
Oh yeah, I left them at the top, and
Okay.
as soon as I saw the smoke, I nosedived.
Yeah, Mulfin,
go down.
you do see that Callista. I keep forgetting which griffin that you're riding on.
Malik.
Malik. You see Callista on the back of Malik, close by the trail, just like kind of like flying a little bit right over top of where you guys came down. She's probably about halfway down right now.
Don't have anything that I won't get yelled at for doing, so.
Go ahead and make a perception check, Mulfin, as you're standing there.
Alrighty then. Come on. That's a big 10. Because I am still exhausted.
Oh, for some reason. Oh, well, surprising enough, 10 is just the number that you needed. Actually, as you look as you're kind of glancing around, you turn back and you take another look at the longship. You can see that there's another a body of a frost giant, like leaning over the side of the ship, not moving. The back of him is on fire, and it doesn't look like there's any life left in this individual. But on the towards the back, you can see that there's a little elevated area that was able to not totally get consumed by fire at this point. It looks like somewhere maybe the ship's captain would stand. It's just elevated just a little bit compared to the rest of the deck. It hasn't gotten a chance to burn up just yet. But on the back, you can see that there are two things that kind of catch your eye. First thing, there's a very large box. And it looks like it used to be like encased in ice, but the ice is all melted because of the flames. And the lid is propped open just a little bit, and there's this shiny glow coming out from within. Also, on the back, you can see that there are what looks like this, kind of looks like a pedestal almost, with a kind of like a large table on the top. And you can see that there are these, almost looks like somewhere, it's like parchment and things that are there. It almost looks like maybe maps or some kind of navigation area. You can't really get too much.
And I don't see any giants at all on the ship. They all ran up towards
most of
Fireshear?
Most of the ship is completely ablaze except for this back area. And from what you can see, there are 3 that are on the ship itself, but they're all laying in the midst of flame, not moving. So you're assuming that, obviously, if they were on fire and alive, they'd be squirming and screaming around. But they're not. The other one is floating. It's about floating away from you now in the water. And there were about 4 that took off across the ice.
And how far are they from me now?
Oh, they're already starting to climb up towards the actual town of Fireshear right now.
Okay. Molfen is going to, seeing that open chest and going, well, if I don't go up and look at it, I couldn't possibly face Lachlan. So, Callista, forgive me for this. I'm going to hear about it later. And the invisibility drops. As Molfen is going to levitate himself to the chest.
Wait. Did you cast invisibility, or is that how it worked? I think Callista cast.
I casted it.
Yeah.
But if he casts a spell,
it immediately drops.
Or does an attack.
Gotcha. Yep. If he casts a spell
drops.
or attacks, you're right. Yep. So all of a sudden,
how's that athletics skill, buddy?
Molfen, you are now visible. And you are hovering in the air as Callista, you reach Kentucky down at the bottom, and now you see in the distance, right by the longship, you see a old rock gnome floating in the air towards the burning longship. Now that's concentration. Does that mean Unseen Servant disappears as well?
Unseen Servant is not concentration.
All right. So he's still down there making a little blizzard.
Yeah.
On the ground.
I'm assuming the giants have probably just stomped right past him at this point.
Yeah, basically they just ignored him. They just ran right by him.
Ooh, look at Dust Devil.
All right, Molfen, you seem to approach the top of this, but you can see that you're not going to have much time. The fire is spreading quickly, and a lot of this stuff is going to burn up. So, what are you headed for first?
The chest.
Going right for the chest. It's enormous. It's way bigger than you.
Crap.
I'm going right in it.
I'm going right.
Oh my god.
He could Indiana Jones it. He could Indiana Jones it.
All right.
With his whole body.
Excellent. So, where is my card? I had a card. No.
It's gonna be another tombstone and a toboggan.
No, I had a
No,
card.
He's got a card that he wrote down what the DC of the acrobatics check is going to be. The most going to fail. Is he?
No, that's totally not it. Come on,
Sure.
people.
Sure.
Oh, have no faith in your dungeon master. Oh, well, here we go. I don't need a card. It will all be fine. All right. So, you open up, and inside the chest, you see that there are a few items inside, Mulfin. 2 of them appear to be rather large potion bottles. It's hard to see exactly inside, but as you kind of pull them out, you can see that they're one of them is kind of like the size of kind of like a science beaker. It kind of it expands out at the bottom and has like a flat bottom to it, corked. Kind of a thick blue glass. You can't kind of see inside of it. The other one is a rather larger potion bottle with a red kind of bubbling liquid inside. Kind of familiar to what you've seen before. You also find that there is a ton of gold pieces scattered along the bottom of this. You're guessing within the range of maybe 450 gold pieces, but as you're kind of just taking your hands and moving the gold around, there's actually a larger bed of silver pieces underneath it. It would take a few minutes, but you think you could kind of shovel as much of the stuff into a bag or some kind of large carrying. If you have anything that can carry large sums, you think you might be able to scoop a lot of it in there, but you're not sure how much time you'll have. You think that probably about 1,500 silver pieces in this chest, on top of the 450 gold that you can kind of gauge or guesstimate. Also, you find in there is what looks to be some type of elaborate necklace that has kind of at the bottom of it has this carved out of what looks like it's some kind of a red gemstone, maybe ruby, with a golden hand that kind of grips it. It's a heart carved out of ruby, and it has this like golden, elaborately designed hand that kind of grips it in the center. Looks really nice. Like you, as soon as you see it, you're like, Diana would love the look of this.
Oh no.
Mulfin's immediately going to pocket the 2 potion balls in the necklace, and then, like you said, just start grabbing whatever I can get.
Okay.
Out of the money.
So Mulfin is just shoveling coins.
Whatever,
and
every little nook cranny, whatever I've got,
go ahead and make another perception check for me, Mulfin. Callista,
Is he like Scrooge McDuck?
Callista, you make a perception check as well.
That's a 7. I see some gold.
Yeah, you're just shoveling. Some of them are just like flying up over out of the chest onto the deck, just rolling across. Callista, you can faintly hear the sound of what sounds like somebody swimming through piles and piles of money. Yes.
Can I see if there's anyone paying attention to the like if I were to look out over the ice, can I see any giants looking back at him?
No, it appears that the giants are reaching the top, and it seems like they're all just trying to find each other.
Okay.
But you like Kentucky's looking at you. He's like, "Oh yeah, what's taking him so long? What is he doing?"
He's being Mulfin. Actually, he's being Lachlan at the moment.
Title.
Yeah.
I heard a rumor that gnomes were like this. Are they all like this?
Every last one of them.
That's racist.
I'm gonna fly over.
All right.
I'm flying over with
So
He's
Malik.
probably too heavy
All
for the
right,
griffin
so
now.
so Malik is
Better
just
not.
gliding. You're like about flying about 10, 15 feet above,
Excluding Malik.
and you're just on your way. And as you approach, you can see just the legs of Mulfin sticking out of this chest, this large treasure chest on this boat, and you can see just like some coins like flying out back behind him and stuff. He's just shoveling into this bag.
God damn it! Calista
Just
doesn't find this funny. Calista does not find this funny!
Callista should be glad. Mulvin bought some leather underbreeches, so he's actually wearing pants now.
Oh, thank God. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, his cloak is riding up.
Muffin! Let's go! What are you doing?
I'm saving all of this from the giants.
Get up here now!
It's at this point, Mulfin, you can see that some of the flames have reached the navigation desk, and some of the parchment is starting to catch on fire.
Pop my head up. Any chance I can grab any of it or no?
Go ahead and
Could
make.
I druidcraft around it
What
to control the flames?
would you like to druidcraft?
Like I should be able to like druidcraft the flame away from the paper.
Sure. You basically
I can do a roll
druidcraft just
for it.
happens, right? I mean, it's not something that.
Yeah, it's a cantrip.
Okay, it's a cantrip. Is there
Yeah.
like a roll that you have to make, or does it just kind of just go?
Just happened.
It just happens, I think.
Awesome. I've never played a druid before, so I don't know.
I think you can light and like extinguish your torch and everything. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say you could kind of make it to where you can control a little bit of the fire, just to buy you enough time.
Okay.
You're not going to be able to put out a lot of this because I mean we're talking
No,
about
yeah.
a very
Not
large
all of
ship
it.
that's ablaze. So yeah, you're able to kind of you hold out your hand down towards where you see the navigation, where you see Mulfin looking, and you kind of prevent the fire from spreading up a little bit, but you're not sure you're going to be able to hold it long.
Hurry up and grab the papers and let's go.
Oh, grab the papers and following along, just slowly floating.
So he starts floating. Coins are just falling out from everywhere
I-
on Mulfin, like
Can
taking
I
off the
grab
deck.
him and put him on Malik, or like pull him so he's like in between me and Malik?
Yeah, you kind of pull him over, and as soon as you put him down, like you can feel like Malik, like all of a sudden, like kind of start to flutter a little bit under the weight of all the coinage that he has now.
Oh.
I'm just turning and flying back to Kentucky, back to where we came.
So, you can hear a couple drops, of like plops of coins into the water as you're kind of like right along the edge of the ice and the.
Wow.
So just for mechanics purposes, Mulfin, you were able to get about 900 of the silver pieces before you felt the time was running out, and a lot of them kind of fell out onto the deck. You did manage to get about 375 gold pieces out of there. You just felt like as the flames were coming and billowing in on you, they're really the only way you'd be able to get the rest is if you go scuba diving later.
Any water breathing?
I have the means. I do have water breathing.
Somebody have a cloak or something?
Yeah, we have a potion, but we also have a spell that does it up to 8 people.
No, the potion has Ferguson in it. We can't have the potion.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Ferguson. I
Right.
forgot about Ferguson.
And we did have a cloak, but unfortunately the cloak is in the Shadowfell right now, I believe.
Right.
Oh yeah, you sent the cloak with Moby. So yeah, you guys head back towards Kentucky. He's standing there, and he's just like, look, it's about time.
We need to get back to the Sharas.
Oh, of
Now.
course, of course. Kentucky like looks up at you, and he's, I'm gonna have to walk, aren't I?
Kinda.
Yeah. And he starts running up the trail. You just hear him like mumbling under his breath. This always it's just stuff like this always happens. I don't get paid enough for this.
Wait,
And he's
Kentucky,
just,
Kentucky, do you know how to ride a griffin?
oh, I know how to ride a griffin, of course.
Okay, hang on. I might have a solution for this.
How long does your levitate last, Muffin?
Levitate is for 10 minutes.
Yeah, so Muffin can pretty much levitate himself if he wanted to. Or is levitate work like fly, or how far can you move with a levitate?
It's barely. I think I can move it by 20 feet. I can change the altitude.
Yeah.
Oh, I can change the altitude. It's only up or down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can just levitate to the ground and then I'll just start running.
All right.
Oh, Muffin run.
Well, I was gonna say that's fine, sure.
I imagine Muffin's legs like kick out to the side as he runs, just like this. He's stumbling back and forth.
That one bad hip, you know.
Yes, that's it. All right. So you guys, Callista, you can continue to fly with Malik.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are headed back towards the residence of Dashara Keldabar. Go ahead and make, as you guys reach the top, I want both of you, Muffin and Callista, to go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Do we have inspiration?
You have a nat 20.
Oh, shit. Never mind.
You have a nat 20, and Ashlyn has a nat 20.
Awesome.
And Muffin, Lachlan, and Diana all have DM's inspiration for the evening.
Gotcha.
Saving that inspiration.
Okay. So yeah, as you guys get up to the top, you guys can see that the rest of the party is no longer in sight. They must have reached Dashara's residence over the next hillside, which is through light, thicketed area and kind of like a light forest before it opens up on the top of the hill. On the other side of the hill, there's that open tundra area where Dashara's residence is. Diana, Lachlan, and Ashlyn, you guys all arrive back at Dashara's residence. And as you guys are all kind of getting off of the griffins, you see in just her expressions that Dashara is upset. Not so much angry, but kind of maybe a lot of mixed emotions going on from what you guys can tell. Diana and Ashlyn, you guys have the higher passive insight. You guys can probably feel a little bit more of what she's going through than Lachlan can at this point. Just because he doesn't have his passive insight isn't as high as yours.
Doesn't have feelings.
Yeah.
His money hairs are tingling. Who are you kidding? A gnome found money.
Oh my god. Oh, Ilmater. Is everyone okay? Yeah.
Everybody else seems to be. You can see that Sarvin he's injured, but he's enjoying flying around because he's still under the effect of the pixie dust. So he has like Jolin is riding on his back. And he's just like soaring through the air with his arms outstretched. He's like, I've always wanted to have wings. Oh, so this is what it's like. And he's just flying all around. He's doing like backflips and twirls in the air and things like that. I think I'm getting the hang of it.
That's cute. Don't fall too far. Stay close to the ground.
Oh, what, Diana, if anything happens, you can just use your divine powers to save me. And he's just flying around, like, just aimlessly.
Wouldn't count on that, buddy.
If you die, I certainly can.
And you guys hear just slamming of the door of the hut at Dashara's. It seems like she and the other guards that were stationed there seem to be kind of quickly headed towards the ladder that leads to the loft above the stables where the griffins are normally kept. you can see that they've got haste in their eyes, and they're they've got a mission. They're going for it.
What time of day is it?
That's a good question. It was probably early afternoonish when this all transpired.
Yeah.
Yeah, still relatively early in the day.
Okay.
But we're exhausted.
Yes.
Diana, it's been like 4 episodes since you actually slept. it's crazy.
She has the bags under her eyes. She's tired.
She's starting to look like Molfen.
Oh, she's like me when I'm sleeping. God, I need to rest. Wow. I'm done.
I mean, is it safe to rest right now? Are we gonna get, kind of invaded by giants here?
I have literally no option. I am this close to just falling on the floor the next time I take a step.
Well, if we evacuate, I'll wake you up.
Dang. Let me get some 8 hours. Let me get my 8 hours though, because that's the only way this disadvantage is gonna go away.
Oh wait, don't you need 4?
No, she's half.
No, because I'm not a full elf.
Okay.
I want to kind of slip away and see where those guys are going toward the loft.
Okay. Do you want to be sneaky about it?
Uh,
Or you just go?
yeah,
quickly?
mildly.
Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
just
You
roll
can roll a
observing.
stealth check.
Okay. Oh gosh, character sheet. Oh
See
gosh.
if you roll like a 36 or something again.
Oh,
Oh,
not so much.
Not so much. Yeah, not as stealthy as. I mean, you're light on your feet.
Yeah.
This isn't your first rodeo, so you head up the ladder, and you can see that 3 of the guards are just basically just in a frantic, packing up backpacks. Like they're rolling up. One of them's rolling up a bedroll, attaching it to the backpack, just taking some of their personal effects and just slamming it into these backpacks as quickly as they possibly can.
Hey guys, what are you doing?
We're packing up. We're getting out of here.
Why?
You didn't you hear her? We gotta go.
Go where?
Go.
We've got to leave. I mean, in just a moment, the giants are gonna regroup.
Oh, that's a problem, isn't it?
Obviously, they.
I go back down the stairs.
So Lachlan, you can reach the bottom of the steps.
Diana, I don't think it's a good time to go to sleep.
I'm gonna die. I need to rest.
Oh, look, the banjo!
I
find a banjo.
I'm
Ashlyn.
so tired.
Ashlyn brought back the banjo of Kentucky's. She's just strumming up a little. Go ahead and make a performance check, Ashlyn.
Okay.
Oh wow, you actually start to by ear start to plink out some notes, and it actually does sound like a little song.
Diana's
Jam.
laughing.
And
Evacuating, huh?
yeah, you hear Deshara's door, the squeal of hinges open back up, and you can see that she's got a bunch of a backpack full of things, and she's got these interesting looking saddlebags that she's got over her shoulder, and she's walking with haste over to Screecher, and she slaps these saddlebags over the back of Screecher and starts to tie them and attach them to the saddle that is there. She's just.
So what about all the people in the town?
Who are you asking? Who are you talking?
Anyone?
All right.
Just listen to
Yeah, Deshara kind of looks over at you, Ashlyn, and she's like, "Well, I suppose maybe most of them are safe in the mines. The ones that were able to get away across the countryside are making their way by now. What would you have me do?
And-
I
What?
don't know. What would you have me do? Trick question.
I face palm.
Ah, you remember that.
But one thing I know for sure is we need a formidable force to be able to withstand that back there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know
Mm.
they're just going to regroup and they're going to follow us and it's going to lead them right here.
Yeah.
And she kind of starts to head a little bit closer to you, Ashley. And she's like, I don't. These men are paid guards. These men and women here. They're just paid guards. They're not an army that can withstand a force that size. And she just points back towards Fireshear. And you guys can see this billowing cloud of black smoke over the hillside in the distance.
No,
Mm.
no,
Every
no.
time she walks, I make a banjo noise.
No.
She just, as she walks back and she starts like opening the saddlebags, you can every step it's like bink, 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 bink. and she stops like right before she gets as she's like packing the saddlebags. She just gives you this like evil, this awful glare, and so just squints her eyes at you, Ashlyn. It's like, really?
Levity?
I love Ashlyn so much.
If I were you, I'd be packing my things too.
I don't have much to pack, but I like this banjo. It's great.
Deshara, we can't. I mean, I did not come all this way just to watch people that we have a duty and obligation to save, die, burn. We can't just leave them.
Look, we leave. We don't have to watch them.
Oh my god.
Did I say that out loud? I retreat into the shadows.
These hands.
She just kind of looks at you, Dinah. She's like, can't you see? Fireshear is lost.
It's
And,
on fire.
Our lives will be lost too if we don't get out of here now.
The people of Fireshear are not lost. As long as there are still gnomes and dwarves alive in that town, the people are not lost, and we have an obligation here.
Preach it!
Go ahead and make
Hell
a
yeah.
persuasion check, Diana.
Okay. Let me just pull up my character sheet.
Unfortunately, this is with disadvantage because you still got bags under your eyes.
I feel like that should just enhance how scary I look. You know, I've got that deprived craziness on me. It's loading. We're gonna get there. Okay.
Hey,
It's
just
up.
while it's it's a persuasion. While it's loading, Keplin and Josh. So glad that you guys are joining us tonight. Welcome back. Glad you're joining the adventure. Oh
I rolled
wow!
high.
Yes, you did. She kind of looks down to the ground a little bit, looks away, and looks back towards you. So, okay. So what's the plan?
I did not get that far yet, but Callista will.
Jesus Christ! All the pressure!
And about
Can I just say,
about-
Michael?
yes.
Wait, I just wanted to be sure because I didn't want it to be followed. I did that.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, and actually, about this time is when you arrive on the back of Malik, with Molfin and his giant bag of coins and treasure that he stole. And he's also got these folded pieces of paper that he's just got jumbled underneath his arms that are giant size pieces of parchment. So they're like longer than he is, that he's holding these rolled up pieces of paper.
Santa.
It basically looks like I'm riding with a
Okay.
lance under my arm.
Is
going,
everyone okay?
We're all fine.
Deshara kind of looks towards you, Callista, and she's like, We're okay. We're just trying to figure out what to do now.
I know. That
We
went
can't leave.
a little too well.
Hey,
Yes, we-
Uncle Molfin, I don't think your plan worked because the giants were supposed to get on the boat and go away.
Yes. After the 4 of them died in the fire I set, the other ones ran away.
Which way? This way or that way?
That way, for now.
Well, the boat was there. and they went that way.
Okay.
But we were able to obtain a few items from them.
Can I look at the maps?
These, and
Oh, yeah.
Malvin's gonna roll it out like he's rolling out a bed sheet or a bedroll, just taking.
Perfect.
He's on
My
rolls.
jaw hit the ground.
Lachlan, go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Please don't take any damage. Please.
Okay, as the big piece of parchment unrolls, it almost nails Lachlan as it's unrolling, and Lachlan's able to kind of do a cartwheel out of the way as this thing unfolds on the ground. And Dashara's like, my goodness, what is that? And as you're looking, it is a map of basically the coastline, and it has all these different kind of dashed lines and things drawn on it in different areas. Coordinates and things written on it in different places. It almost seems like this ship captain's been keeping a good log of places that he has raided in the past, or places he has visited, and there's even like little notes written in giant runes on the side that Mulfin and I believe it was Diana that can read giant. I think are they the only two that can read giant?
I think so.
Which seem to be directions, instructions actually, from the Jarl of Jarl of. Let me see. I want to get his name correct this first time. I don't want to mess up the name.
Oh no.
Jarl of the Frozen Far. Servant, kill him!
From Svardborg.
Slagvarg. What?
Svardborg. Basically, yeah. Basically, the Jarls. Where is his name?
So I was the sailor guy, so I can navigate us.
I had his name here. I
And play the
apologize. Yeah, while we listen to the wonderful banjo music. Jarl Storvald. Storvald. Yes, I'm gonna put it in here in the chat.
Is it the O with the line in it?
No.
Oh, okay.
There it is in your Roll20 chat.
Hooray.
Okay. Stormald.
And he's from Fogblurg.
Fogblurg. I like that. That was good. I think we'll keep that. No. Let me double check. I want to make sure I spell it correctly. I'm trying to make sure that I've got my notes here.
Graham, so what does this map say?
Well, it seems to be instructions from a
There's
Jarl
the
Stormald.
Svardborg.
Store-bought?
And basically, the gist of the directions is basically they are instructions to go and basically pillage as many of the larger establishments along the coast as they possibly can, in hopes that they might find the Ring of Winter.
Kathleen!
Now, basically, it's an all call. They're trying to find, and you notice you hear there's a familiar name on there of Artis Simber. That is a recurring name. That they are looking for anybody, and they're looking for him in specific because, but they're also looking for basically any trace of him, whether it be friends, family, anybody that knows him. They are after this ring. But they're also in the process of, hey, let's pillage as much as we can. Maybe we'll stumble upon it and we'll get lucky.
I have a rather strange idea. Diana, Calista, where was that, what was his name? Big silver fellow. Clarion, right?
Yes, I can.
What?
The dragon.
Where is his home?
In the mountain of
north,
near
north
Bridgecamp.
of north of Brimshander.
Hmm.
Did it have a name? Did he refer to it as anything?
I can't call.
I think he
I
just
believe it
called
would
it
have been
his
his spine,
keep.
right?
Yeah, I think he just called it his keep.
But it would have been in the spine of the world, right?
Yeah, it was on the it was basically about, you would think, maybe between 4 and 5 miles north of Bryn Shander, which is right on the edge of the spine of the world. If you were to move farther to the, I guess that would be your east, it would go into the kind of, you basically heading right to the middle of the spine of the world with the heavier, taller mountain peaks.
I have an interesting thought here.
Kepler says, "Oh, I know where that is." In chat.
But I believe we may have an opportunity to aid the people of this village if we can speak to the giants who are currently rampaging in the city.
Deshara kind of looks at you, Mulfin, and she's like, do you think they'd be willing to hear us out after their ship has been set ablaze?
Well, they have no reason to assume it was one of us. And if we offer information on this artist Simba as being holed up in a keep north of Bryn Shander, they will leave the city to go invade somewhere.
I
They are
am not
ill-prepared.
sending giants to Clarion.
We have his phone number. We could warn him.
We also had the possibility of Zulkin going to Clarion. Say Zulkin and the Frost Giants show up at his door.
Well, that's wonderful. They'll kill each other, and Clarion won't have to do anything at all.
I like the way he thinks.
It's a little bit tempting, but I know I should say no.
Oh, Callista too. By inspecting the maps, with your wanderer background, you feel like you have a strong sense of that you can tell on the map where this Svardborg actually is. Based
I was going to ask.
notes.
Yeah, I was going to ask that, and I was also going to ask, can we see where they were planning to go next too?
Honestly, there's a lot of notes taken on here. Let me double check the map really quick, and I can give you some more insight on that as you're kind of inspecting over. If you guys want to go ahead and continue with Mulfin's conversation, you can while I'm looking this up.
Yeah, Gramps, have you been taken over with a silence?
I don't like this.
I think he's saying I would.
Are you still muted?
Wow. I've hit that mute button 3 times and it hasn't. And what's worse is, in character, I said, door opens, nobody walks out.
Callista, one thing that you do notice on this map is that this ship itself was actually a part of another group of ships that were actually traveling towards the city of Luskan. And it appears that this ship, for some reason or not, veered off course and chose its own direction and came to Fireshear. Yes.
Why were we going to go to
and you also notice that this captain is pretty confident in his abilities. And he has also had some notes on here that his 2 next hopeful places that he was going to raid are Neverwinter and Waterdeep.
Ah, crap.
But those
Waterdeep
are way south.
Yeah,
So
I
it would take them a long time.
Yeah.
But possibly you guys are all kind of putting 2 to 2 together, maybe that they were planning on raiding this place to get the materials and the supplies that they would need to make a quest of that stature.
And you said that I could gather where they were, report from? Like, coming from where?
Yes.
So, like, the main...
Yeah, that
Where was that?
that Svardborg place that I typed in the chat.
That's a place?
Cardboard.
That's the place that they came from.
Okay.
And you can
Okay.
tell by the map. Basically, what it is there is an ice covered. It's actually within this place that that you see on the map. It's called the Sea of Moving Ice. It's basically like islands and glaciers, smaller areas that have broken apart above the spine of the world to the western side. So basically, when you guys got to Hundlestone, and you came down the path to Fireshear, there is a road that leads you to the right, but then it kind of goes off into this vast wilderness of glaciers and islands. It's basically like being north of Alaska. Kind of, kind of like that atmosphere.
Yeah. Great.
Kind of like the tippity top of Canada.
Sure. Okay. Well, if Luskin hasn't been hit already, it's going to be.
Unless we do something to get them out of here now.
No.
A reward.
No. This ship is from a fleet that was going to Luskin. This ship just came here because he wanted to, because he thinks he's confident enough to do it by himself.
A fleet?
Yes.
Yeah, and from what you can tell, there were probably about 5 of these longships traveling together.
So there's 4 more.
Well,
Is Luskin bigger than this
4
town?
more ships. Is Luskin what?
Bigger than this town?
Sarvin kind of looks at you after he's kind of disappointed. His spell, pixie dust finally wears off, and he slowly comes back to the ground. You can see he's like his head is down. He's like, oh, I've been to Luskin. It's much bigger than here.
Is it like
is
a
it more
full-blown
well-protected?
city?
Oh, far more fortified than here. This is strictly mining business. Luskin it's definitely different. So
But
They have a
5 long
fleet of
steps of
ships.
giants.
Yeah.
well, Luskin does have the benefit of having the local Tower of Wizards there.
Ooh.
I am sorry, a Tower of Wizards.
Oh yes, yeah. They're kind of a shady group of fellows. People don't talk to them much, but they do the
I
best
like
that they
shady.
They do the best they can to protect the city whenever it comes under attacks. I mean, it's a big port city. They do a lot of importing and exporting, a lot of fishing, a lot of things of that nature.
Uncle Muffin, can you send messages?
Certainly via small written scroll on a small creature. Oh,
No, I meant.
Oh, and just at that point in time, he remembers Pouchois is no more.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, is Pouchois dead? Like dead?
Like turned into a cloud of just. It's like toss a water balloon in the air and hit it with a knife. It just goes.
Oh.
But is he gonna come back like Moby's bird?
Well, I have the ability to resummon my familiar, although
Okay.
Make it a
there may be
butterfly. No?
What?
there may be better forms for Pouchois to take and to aid us.
Make him a jellyfish
he'd be
like
incarnate?
Ferguson.
I suppose we could rename him Jiminy, but
Okay.
and trademark infringement.
Jiminy. Nice.
Muffin, I'll just look through. It seems we have one of 2 choices. We either deal with the giants here, as Diana has said she is pulled to do, and either find a way to destroy them all with Diana barely on her feet, me in much the same situation.
I got hit by a rock.
I'm almost tapped out spells.
What are spells? You guys are so funny.
You guys can see also as you guys are like looking around, like just assessing the just the overall morale and the well-being of the party. You can see that Jolin is kind of like standing there a little embarrassed. And upon closer inspection, you can see that he's got some wet marks on the front of his pants where he must have accidentally used the restroom when he was trapped under that net and about to be trampled by the frost giant. So he's kind of like purposely standing to the side, you know, so you guys don't really like look at him and things like that.
This is cool.
He's still got like marks like where the tears were running down his face in the midst of the.
Battle is scary, and you are so brave for even participating. So, you know what? Points for you.
I don't have anything to give him.
He kind of blushes a little bit. It's just like, what? I'd hardly call that bravery. I call that.
You were there.
I call that more or less being lucky that you were all there to pull me out of that situation.
We're a team.
What are our options, Wolfen?
No, no,
my
he
thought.
lit the boat on fire that they were gonna leave on. Why are you asking Uncle Muffin?
Because it worked. I killed half of the people on that boat.
But the other half are running this way.
Right, and now I've offered a solution to get them out of the city. But
Which is?
Diane and Callista seem to be not 100% certain of my idea of sending them straight into a dragon's mouth.
Oh.
Right, that's not an option. At least, as
Well-
far as I know.
Then our option is to either die attempting to kill. Well, 4 more came running up here. I think we left 5 or 6 up here, so we'll say in the ballpark of 7 to 10 more giants.
Probably more.
Or we flee and leave Fireshear to fall.
I thought that our plan was that we would come back here, rest up, and then go back to the city and face off the giant. Was I wrong?
I'm not sure if this place is safe anymore.
Kentucky finally shows up.
I do it immediately.
What I miss? Hey, that's my banjo.
I found your book. I love it.
Hey, that's my band.
It's my favorite.
It's kind of old, but well, I'm sorry it took me so long. That hill's a lot steeper than it looks. He's just like hands on his knees, like breathing heavy.
Well, Kentucky, you are just in time. We're all picking up weapons and are going to make a final stand. Come on up.
Wait, what? We're going back?
Yes.
I
Get a
just
sword, a dagger, whatever you have. Most of us are out of spells or exhausted. We're going to go pick a fight with them.
exhausted. I just ran all the way up here and you want me to go back?
Yes. Come along.
Here's your banjo.
He starts playing a sad tune.
Wolfen's trying somewhat unsuccessfully not to laugh.
Coming back.
So, and Dashara's kind of looking at you. So the plan is we're going back?
No,
Is it?
not yet.
But Diana, we cannot wait 8 hours here. Even though I have the
Rest for,
ability to summon the hut, and we could rest protected, there is no guarantee that when that spell falls in 8 hours, that we would not be completely surrounded and just out of
He's got
existence.
a point.
We
Malcolm's got a
couldn't
point.
hide. We couldn't cast Pass Without a Trace or something.
But Diana, it is a large, shimmering half globe that fits.
I can pass without a trace to get us farther away from here, and then find a place to rest. But other than that,
Callista, I have a question.
what?
Since we know Clarion's, little rock cell phone, could we call him and have a nice dragon help us fight giants? And maybe he can bring a little bit of Brinchander with him? And we can save the city?
Michael, how long did it take us to get here? From Room Chander?
From Bryn Shander? Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
It took 3...
It was like a week, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was better part of a week, yes.
Even if he agrees, which I doubt he will because he's busy protecting his territory,
Oh yeah.
Brimshander is still recovering. I doubt they have many forces to offer us. We saved their ass. What makes you think they have the ability to save ours in this situation?
This is not sad.
I just heard it. What just happened?
I tried to find a sad banjo tune, and there's no such thing as a sad banjo tune.
Callisto, perhaps we merge the both of these ideas then.
What's up?
Contact Clarion through the magical doohickey he gave you. Ask him how he feels about having a small detachment of giants sent his direction in order to save a city. Assuming he gives his blessing, we communicate this to the giants that is where this Otter Simba they are seeking is. If he refuses, we look at... No, we really have no other options. At that point, it is flee south to Luskan.
The way I look at it is they have to pass through Brimshander to get to him. What makes us think that they're not going to just stay there and plunder there again? They've already been through this once.
Tell them the ring's there, right?
Yes, if we point out specifically that the one who has this item they're seeking is there,
Do you
and we
think they're
don't
really
know how
that smart? Do you think they really care that on the way there's a city there, but that's not where they need to go?
There are like 5 cities on the way there that could be in jeopardy.
Mm.
Exactly.
Yeah, you guys start to recall and remember your friend Thwip and Hundlestone that you passed through. And
So if we send them up north, we're just committing a bunch of more people to doom instead of this isolated area. They're looking at the coast. They're looking for the quickest way to get down to the south. If we tell them to go inland, there's no telling what chaos can start from that.
Can we mend their boat?
Well,
I don't-
then do we
as
send them to Luskan?
as Ashley is saying this, the thick black cloud of smoke is just just billowing above the whole entire landscape.
Just a little?
A couple of silver pieces fall out of Molfin's pockets.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I will ask Clarion to come here. I doubt he'll say yes, but I can ask Clarion to come help. But I really don't think sending them to him is a really smart idea.
Then do we send them to Luskan, where they are more prepared to deal with an onslaught like this? And then we
get
rest
ahead and help them
and
prepare
make
defenses.
exactly.
But again, the city's on the way.
Sarvin's just like,
This is-
personally, I think it's crazy that they would attack Luskan anyway. But it's, it slipped my mind from them. It's the Arcane Brotherhood, my most powerful archmages around. They're crazy for attacking there. They must not know what's ahead of them.
Or they have something big and powerful that's gonna help them.
Like
Good.
a trebuchet.
I guess that's always an option.
You could find it and steal it, whatever they have.
The trebuchet?
No. Lachlan, no.
Callisto, what do you say to that? If
It's
they have
not
these powerful archmages,
Right,
We
it's not the
convey
worst
to-
idea. They already have 4 going towards them, and that's initially where this ship was supposed to go. My concern is now they don't have a ship. They're not traveling by sea. They're going to be going through acres upon acres of land to get there. That's my concern. It's not the worst
would-
idea. They don't have a boat now. How are they going to get there? They're going to just rampage all the way down?
No, they'll get tired and then maybe we can kill them.
well, let's look at this. Look down at the chart. Is there any city between here and Luskan?
Oh, are you looking on your map?
Either ours or the charts they have.
Both, yeah.
They have charted. That there appears to be some type of waterway, a river or something, between Fireshear and Luskin that they have charted in there, and the waterway kind of leads all up to the road. I'll take you
Let me
guys.
know if it's done.
I'll take you guys over to the map and show you what you see. Let me see if I can grab this really quick. I'm gonna take you guys over there, and hopefully it loads correctly, and you guys can all see it. There's a giant Diana on the map.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
Let me
there's a
grab.
giant Lachlan.
Let me grab Diana.
And
Diana,
no
can you
one
still
push wall.
see, or is it just all black now for you?
Oh yeah, I can see.
Okay. Can everybody else see?
Got a bit of fog of war going on.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to. Well, I'm trying to just reveal only the areas that you guys have
Yeah.
been or know about. As you guys are looking, I'm gonna reveal everything that's on that. So up in the top corner here, you're gonna see the sea of moving ice.
Oh.
it's cardboard.
And you guys can see all this stuff on this map. You can also see down here to Luskin. You can see that there's. I'm gonna shift ping and see if it'll let me. Shift ping. There's a waterway that kind of comes in right here, and there's a river that goes up to. I guess that's the Northern Means. That would be the road there that leads to Luskin. And that's where it begins, the high road that goes down towards Neverwinter and Waterdeep and all the major, larger cities on the north. Another thing that you can see on here, basically, I'm going to reveal all this water area, basically. I'm going to have to kind of scroll down slowly. What's it doing? Here we go. You can see that there's down here Neverwinter. You guys can see that down to Helm's Hold. You can see that this is in giant ruins, but Mulfin and Diana can tell that it is the Sea of Swords that leads
See what?
down. I'm just
Swords.
basically I'm revealing all of the coastal areas, basically from the north all the way down to Waterdeep.
Ooh, Mirror of Dead Men. That sounds.
Doesn't that sound great?
Oh, Whalebone.
Yeah.
There.
Sounds like a place to have a
Nice
vacation
place.
home.
To think that we began this journey in Nightstone.
I know the world has gotten a lot bigger, hasn't it?
It certainly has. Wow.
But it doesn't appear to be any large settlements between Fireshear and Luskin from what you guys are seeing.
Just little tiny towns that might get murdered.
Yeah, there's probably really small villages that aren't big enough to be on this map, but
We could fly ahead of them and warn people.
Do giants have a word for... Diana, do you know, do giants have a word for parlay?
Parlay?
Yes.
I mean, they have to.
One would assume.
We could just say peace talks. We would like to have peace talks.
Well, how do we handle who is going to have the discussion with them? Draw straws?
Okay.
and as you guys are having this conversation, this is what you hear
Oh no.
in the distance.
Oh, no.
Let me see.
No.
I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear it, but listen as this is what you hear.
The cavalry coming to save us. It's horses. It's elves. Forest elves. Wood elves.
Oh,
They
it's
come
a
to save.
cow.
That sounds like a big horn.
No, it's a
Diana,
giant cow.
That is no elf horn.
Diana
can't it
and Mulfin. Diana and Mulfin, go ahead and make let's just call this a straight out. Let's just call this intelligence, just straight out intelligence.
Oh no, I'm not.
Oh.
Mulfin, you recognize this.
I don't... It's...
Oh.
the
Oh,
check.
never
I'm
mind.
at
You're at
disadvantage.
disadvantage.
Uh,
That's ability checks, though. That's just ability checks. Is it also skill checks, or is it just ability?
Just be. I would let this one go for this one, Mulfin.
Okay.
because that's not a skill. That's just based on your ability.
I'll
What
take it.
what
Good job.
you in your study of the giant language, you have stumbled across that there are, especially with frost giants, they do a lot of their signaling through uses of horns, and this deliberately sounds like a war horn blast.
Do I recognize what it would signify?
um,
Does it sound like retreat, run away, get the hell out of here?
It sounds like
It's-
attack, burn them all.
it sounds like with the two blasts, it sounds like a horn blast of vengeance.
Oh boy.
Right.
So what's
I
that
don't
mean?
think peace talks are gonna work.
Yes, it appears that we may have angered them beyond the point of attempting conversation.
Perchance.
I want to take a short rest.
I
Yeah.
would like to take a long.
I'm
Actually,
gonna go find Solana the Griffin.
okay. Actually, this conversation would probably, you guys have been here for a little while. This would probably constitute as a short rest. So if you guys want to
Okay.
spend any hit die,
God.
or if you get anything back for a short rest based on your skills and abilities, you guys
Let's
can go
talk
ahead.
for 4 more hours and make it a long rest.
With the sound of that horn blast, you're not sure that you have 4 more hours.
Oh my gosh. Do you guys want to just go find a place to hide, just to hide, and then come back when we're better?
I'm okay.
That was my suggestion. So yes.
Diana,
Oh,
I do-
okay then.
The
Close to
city will
right.
not survive 8 hours.
Deshara looks at you and she's like, "In my hovel, in my stables, will be nothing but splinters and
That's
crushed
why
rock."
we leave. We take the griffins and we leave.
But the people.
We'll be
if her
back.
hovel.
It's
We'll be back. We can't do them any service if we're dead.
I know that, but like, I just need to know: are we leaving?
No,
Because
no.
everyone's
We're
like the city will
going to-
last, but
they're regrouping. We need to regroup too.
okay.
I need to punch.
I just don't want to leave people to die.
I know. We'll figure this
Diana,
out.
We need to be smart. We need to look. I do not expect them to still be here in 8 hours. And if they have left, we need to give chase and we need to head to Luskin immediately. If the giants are still here pillaging in 8 hours, then we can have a discussion of whether or not to come back here and deal with it.
Yeah.
If they have moved on, then the people will have to deal until we deal with these.
And as Dashara said, the people know the mines better than anyone. They can use it to hide. They can use it to get out. We don't know. But they're safer there than they are in the city.
So long as we're not leaving people to die, that's
No.
We're leaving people
We're
to
leaving
hide.
so we can live and we can save them later.
all right. I don't mind taking a rest. That was what I was advocating for. I'm a lot of spells. I
Yes,
needed to sleep.
But we
I
can't
just
rest here. We have to go somewhere else to rest. We can't rest here.
And it's
And
taking
All right.
Too
And
dangerous.
in 8 hours, they will be
Right.
on their way somewhere else, and we will need to be doing
Very
the
likely.
same.
Yeah. So
I need perception checks across the board.
yeah.
Oh my god, can I just start running after hearing that?
Absolutely. Diana
As
takes off
soon
towards
as
the
we're
woods.
done talking, I
Not bad.
Oh, whoopsie, I accidentally rolled an investigation.
Good thing you did.
Oh, my hit dice and my perception are the same, so sure.
All right.
At least
I
Molfin's
didn't
paying
think I
attention in Ashland.
I am confused. How do I know how many hit dice I can roll?
Ashlyn and Molfin,
Your level.
Should have 6.
from the area in, I'm going to use this word, in the area in whence you came. From whence you came.
Oh, wow.
You start to
So
s-
fancy.
you start to see a large creature flying in the air over the light forest that you guys kind of went through to get to Deshara's residence up past the hillside. Looks like a large bird.
Who sees this? Just Ashland?
Ashlyn and Molfin.
Uncle Muffin, what's that?
I do not know, but
Should we shoot it?
What's what?
There's a large
potentially.
bird from
how-
whence we came.
Lachlan, it's over yonder.
Can I
don't
see
see
it?
anything.
If they point it out, can I see it?
Yeah, as soon as they point it out, you can see it's still a little ways off, and it seems to be just investigating down below, and then it will kind of turn around, kind of like watching a large hawk fly around the sky, just kind of in circles, like it's stalking something or looking around for something.
Does it look like it's seen us?
It doesn't look like it's seen you. At this point, it's still pretty far away.
What color is it?
Yeah.
It appears
white?
it appears to be white from the
It's the
head
eagle.
basically back to. It's kind of strange. The eagle that you saw earlier was like completely white feathered. This one has
Mhm.
white feathers basically halfway to the top of its wings, and then it looks like brown feathered towards the back of its tail.
Hmm.
I'm gonna still.
Well,
Okay, well,
Yeah.
Oh, so Ashlyn, where are you? What are you going to do with your stealth? Are you just are you hiding somewhere?
Yeah, I'm gonna like stand under a tree so it doesn't see me.
So you're gonna head over the hillside towards the foresty area.
Oh, there are no trees here.
Basically in front of Dashara's residence, there's
Yeah.
not a lot of trees. It's kind of like an open area.
Oh. I'm gonna stand right here and not stealth.
Okay.
I believe it is time to take our leave. Yes,
Yeah.
immediately.
All right.
I do not know what that is, and I'd rather not be here to find out.
I want to just pray over the people really quickly and that they'll all be okay.
But
And
You have
Ilmater's
fun
name,
with that
amen.
while I take care of things with Bashara.
Diana, what would this prayer sound like?
Oh goodness, that's I thought it was gonna be one of those things where I was like, it's canon. Now ignore it. Don't make me check it out. Ilmater, just guard and protect these people. Keep them safe in their minds, and don't let the giants find them, please. Thank you and amen.
Okay. And the minute you say amen, a large boulder slams into the ground on top of the hillside that you guys have recently climbed over and rolls just a little bit from the hillside down. It looks like probably like a 6-foot round massive stone that just lands, impacts, rolls, bounces just a few times, and then comes to a stop.
That's
And
probably
you
not
can
good.
and you can hear large footfalls and the,
okay.
and the
Pass the thunder
cracking,
trace.
cracking and breaking of tree limbs and tree
I run.
trunks themselves.
Congratulations,
I'm running.
Diana.
There any
Upland
running?
has heard you, and he has turned the giants on us. The people are now safe.
I'm gonna kick one in the face.
No,
you wanna kick-
we are
No.
running.
Okay.
Ashlyn's ready to kick a giant in the face.
No,
I'm
not
gonna
allowed. We run.
Gather up the stuff and just get on the griffin and start flying away.
Fly.
Okay.
Yes.
Kentucky,
Deshaun.
are you
Telling,
going
telling everybody to follow, obviously, not just
Okay.
leaving them.
what are you guys gonna do about Sarvin?
Oh, more pixie dust, please. Maybe if Molfin allows it.
It is yours, Diana. I handed it to you. So there were...
I thought it was to
For-
borrow.
Yeah, there's only 3 more uses of that pixie dust.
Well, is Sarvin big enough to? He has to sit on his own, right?
He
Any
can't
big
go on.
griffin
No,
here?
he's too big
He's-
for a griffin.
He's too big for a griffin.
Oh.
He may be okay on one of the riding horses.
Okay.
No, that's too slow. I'll do a little salt bay on him. Just kidding.
Okay, go ahead and roll a D100 for me. Diana?
Oh, oh sorry.
He turns into a bunny.
For you.
Ooh.
83.
Uh-oh, what's this gonna do?
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh no,
no.
DM, no.
Ooh, this
DM, no.
This
Be
is-
merciful, please.
this is nice. I found this.
It's not the DM.
I
This is
found the chart. This other. Oh. Okay, excellent.
That's never a good thing to hear.
Is it?
Sarvin has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
No.
So let's see how he does.
Why is his king of the first on fire?
Let's see how he does. Wisdom saving throw.
Oh my god.
It's
a 7.
Okay. I've got some
You
look
see it
up.
last week.
I'm gonna look up
Oh.
something really fast because I can't remember exactly how this works.
I don't like it. No.
So I'm gonna see what exactly happens to poor Sarvin.
Do we like Sarvin? Real quick.
Some of us do, some aren't.
I can.
He's great.
Oh.
Okay, Diana, do me a favor and roll a D10 for me.
Oh boy. Okay.
Diana
Who is
just
he gonna
won't-
try to kill?
There you go. Sarvin just looks at you blankly. Kind of sniffles his nose a couple times. And doesn't say a word.
Sarvin, you're gonna fly? You're gonna fly like last time?
No answer.
Sorry,
no.
busy thinking about that beholder?
He looks over at Lachlan. Same look.
You plucked his eye out, remember? Yeah? Tell me about that one?
Kind of starts like blinking like rapidly. Just kind of like he's got something in his eyes or something. And just shakes his head. But doesn't say a word.
Oh no. He was supposed to fly.
No, Diana, you do it like this. Let me see.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Okay,
Right in the face.
Be-
Yes.
before Molfin does that, go ahead and roll one more d10 for me, Diana.
Oh no. 1d10. Ooh.
He just like looks around, and then another splat of pixie dust goes flying into his face. Molfin, go ahead and roll a d100 for me.
I feel like we're abusing this lizard man.
Oh gosh.
Oh my god, you guys. We don't have time for this. Let's go.
A nightclub in the 80s.
This is all within 6 seconds.
He needs to make another.
We need to go.
This time it's a Constitution saving throw.
Oh my
Let's see how he does.
Oh my god, that's a 5.
Uh,
You need better.
all of a sudden, after this poof of pixie dust like sparkles in his face, after he's kind of looking around, he looks so confused. Then all of a sudden, you see his eyes roll back into the back of his head, and he falls in front of you completely unconscious.
Oh my god. This has made all of our problems so much worse. No more pixie dust.
Now you got like a 500-pound dragonborn, dead weight, laying on the ground in front of you.
Oh my
Can we
god.
put him in the bag of holding with his head sticking out?
He will not survive the bag of holding. He
No,
won't.
with
Oh
his
no.
head sticking out.
Ke-
Over the top.
Keplin says you should always be ready to kick a giant in the face.
We're really gonna have to.
we love you, Keplin.
Ashlyn,
Yes.
let me borrow your rope.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Wolfen's gonna run over, measure the rope out so it's roughly, Sarvin's right in the middle of it. Tie the middle of the rope around the middle of Sarvin, nice and tight.
Okay.
And then each end of the rope tie to one of the griffins.
Oh my god.
Okay. Go ahead and let's make these just dex checks.
Oh my god. It's gonna be the
Molfin.
worst nonsense.
If somebody would like to help him after they're seeing their plans, you
I'll
can
help.
help.
I'll help.
And you can give him advantage on the roll, because I would assume that somebody would help him do this in the Oh, yeah.
So there's one.
So-
How many did you say?
Yeah, go ahead and make 2. Yeah, you're pretty confident that you did a really good job. The one knot you know is not coming loose. And you're pretty confident that you've got them attached well. Your one worry in doing all this is that the ropes could slip and tighten a little bit and basically squeeze Sarvin a little bit.
Add them some extra clothes.
I'll fly next to Sarvin and just make sure that he's not being like
Can I go
hanged
to that?
from the air.
Okay, let's go.
Can I ride one of the
Let's
griffins that is carrying
fly.
him, or are they fully strained?
Sure. Yeah, you could ride. Yeah, probably. The gnomes would probably be best to ride on the
Yeah.
griffins
Yeah.
that are
Okay.
hauling all of Sarvin's dead weight.
Yeah. All right, gonna gear up.
Um,
Come on, guys, we gotta take off.
you can
I
see.
passed without a trace on us, just so you know.
Can Kentucky ride with me?
Okay. Okay, so all the Kentucky. Well, if you're going to be on a griffin, Kentucky knows that they probably wouldn't be able to take 2 medium-sized
Okay.
creatures. Kentucky actually runs. They have horses tied up, so they're actually headed towards their riding horses that they have.
Okay.
Don't we have
Um,
horses?
Yeah, you
We
guys
did.
have
We did.
a few horses that are still tied up to the post.
Where
Put
is
them with me.
where's Orangepeel?
He's still kind of figuring out what he's doing in the midst of all of
He
this.
can ride
He-
with me.
After
Tell him
that,
to
after
take
that
the
boulder hit,
horse
he was
apart.
like, he's like he's super
He
scared.
can ride on my griffin with me. It's okay. I'll invite him up.
Did he pee a little more?
He probably did.
I hope.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
as Diana like pulls him up, he's embarrassingly like holding his hands like in front of his.
Here, take my cloak. Just take my cloak. I can wash it later. Just take it and just
He kind of takes it,
Sit on
puts it around himself. He sits down on it.
yeah.
Quickly, does anyone here have any sort of air instrument? A trumpet, a horn, anything?
We
Kentucky,
do
any
have
of
a
your people?
we do have a horn.
Kentucky's
I'm
like,
not signaling.
I've got a banjo.
We have an ivory horn. We have an ivory horn.
Is it in the
That sounds expensive.
bag holding? Yeah, we have an ivory horn that we got from giants, right?
Yeah.
No, we got it from a giant. Is that giant-sized?
It's pretty big. Yeah.
No, I need something smaller.
What do you want to use it for?
A distraction.
I don't want to do distractions. I just want to run.
We are going to run, but they're going to follow unless we give them something else to chase. Kentucky, do any of your men have a horn?
No, we don't have a horn.
Do you mind losing your banjo?
No!
Ashlyn,
What-
I will buy
what-
you a banjo when we
And
get
a
to
new
Luskin.
rope.
Will you buy me a banjo when we get to Luskin? Kentucky looks at you.
Oh, that is a valid point. It is technically yours. So,
Fine, you owe me a banjo and a rope.
He's like
Molphin takes the banjo.
reluctantly holds it out to you, Molphin. You can see that he's about ready to cry. It's-
As Molphin's grabbing it and
my
running towards where we left the horses.
My dad gave me that banjo.
Oh.
Is he dead?
No, he's alive.
Well, then who cares?
I hope.
Did we leave the horses? Are they out of view of the party?
No, you guys can see them. They're basically on the other side of Deshara's hut. There's a bunch of like tying posts, and all the horses are just kind of like tied to the tying posts.
Okay, where's our cart and the sled?
It's all there too.
What are you doing?
Oh my. He's got a plan, and I get
Oh
worried.
no! I think I know what he's gonna do. I
Yes,
think
you know exactly what he's going to do.
Oh no! Muffin, that's horrible! Muffin! Are you really?
so we need to escape.
Okay, just do it. Let's go. And I'm like, Diana, cover Orangepeel's eyes.
What are we doing?
Okay.
No need. Put fog cloud down between us so he can't see anything.
All right, so
What's
there's a fog cloud.
happening?
It's like, Jolin looks up at you, Diana. What are they talking about? What do they not want me to see?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
And so it slowly clicks in every person's head.
So,
Why didn't you just make your unseen servant do it?
everybody except for Diana. Diana kind of has an idea what is about to happen because she's seen it happen before. But there's a fog cloud blocking your view. But everybody else, you all of a sudden see bursting from these vines inside the cart. You can see that the vines just start to burst and open up, and this rising corpse starts to stand in the back of the cart.
That's why I said cover his eyes, Diana!
And it's Jolin's father standing up, just has that lumbering kind of stance that's just bobbing like around, like his head is just like not fully like upright. He's just kind of like tilted to the side just a little bit, and he's just kind of like just standing there like just kind of like awaiting for a command or something.
No.
We are
Take
so
this
messed
banjo.
up.
Run as far as you can, and as you get 100 feet away, start hitting the strings.
Are you pointing back towards where the boulder hit?
Towards the boulder and past. Just basically run that direction and start making noise.
Okay, so
The opposite direction of where we're going.
the creature stumbles out of the cart and starts like dragging one leg, you know, the official zombie walk, you know, dragging one leg towards you. You hold out the banjo and give these instructions. It takes the banjo from your hands and just like kind of like looks at you, but it kind of almost like looks through you. it's a dead corpse, just like standing and walking around, and it starts to head in the direction that you point. It cannot run, but looks like it's lumbering with haste, so to speak.
And Mulfit's back on the griffin and telling Lachlan to take off.
All right. And you guys are heading up, Sarvin strapped within the ropes, and you can hear the pitter-patter of the horse hooves as basically Deshara's whole guard crew is kind of following the direction that you guys are, just keeping their eyes up towards you. And at that point, that would be a great time for us to take a break for this evening.
Oh my god.
The moment he said, I'm going to the cart, I'm like, oh no.
It
Oh,
was not
no.
ready for me until
I thought maybe he was gonna kill the horses or something. I didn't know.
I don't know
I
how.
didn't
I think Christy is messed up as Matthew because I knew exactly what he was doing.
How long does that spell last?
It's instantaneous.
1 minute.
No.
Oh no, that's casting time. 1
It
minute.
takes a minute to cast it.
24 hours.
24 hours. The
Oh
creature's
my
under your
god,
control.
24 hours.
It is the creature is
Under your
quote unquote
control.
undead until it's killed again. I have control over it for 24 hours.
Oh my god.
So if that thing doesn't
That's
die
so nasty.
after a day, that thing is a free range dead thing.
That's pretty morbid.
So
You just to Jolin's father. No.
I told you to cover his eyes.
Not approve. Diana
Awesome,
does not
awesome.
approve at all.
So
Diana saw fog cloud. She doesn't know what happened.
Diana's got a hunch. She didn't actually see it, but she's got a hunch. Poor Jolin has no idea.
Good.
But right now is a great time for us to take a break. Those of you that are tuning in with us here at Proficiency Bonus tonight, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. I know Keplin and Josh have been hanging out with us, so we thank you guys for
Hey, Keplin and
stopping
Josh.
by. So we've got some craziness happening tonight. I don't know where this is going to go or where it's going to take us, so you guys hold on tight. Strap your saddles on tight to those griffins, because we don't know what's going to go on next as we come back for the second half of episode 30 of Storm King's Thunder. So give us 5 to 7 minutes. We're going to go get some drinks and take a quick break, and we'll be right back with you in just a moment. See you soon.
Peace out.
Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 30 of Storm King's Thunder right here on Proficiency Bonus. My name is Michael, your most humble and merciful dungeon master for the evening. And we've got our wonderful cast back with us. We've got the, I'm going to go ahead. I don't do this very often, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. I feel like I need to do it more often. Our wonderful Matthew, who plays Molfin in this campaign. We've also got MG, who plays Lachlan. Zos, who plays Diana in our wonderful campaign. We've got Christy, who plays Callista, and Sarah, who plays Ashlyn. So, and right now we're still missing JJ, who plays Moby, but I'm sure he'll be back at some point when he's done saving the world and the universe. So, the last we left off, our characters were quickly headed away from Dashara's hovel just north of Fireshear, as they were all kind of frantically leaving as a band of frost giants were presumably regrouping, blowing their war horns in rage as their longship was engulfed in a grease fire that may or may not have been caused by Molfin Green East. Who then decided to raid the giant's treasure box and navigational parchments in returning back. Discussing that they didn't have much time, but they were all tired. They needed to get out of the area of the town to rest up before deciding what to do after that. So you guys are headed, and you guys notice, you guys see, as you guys are flying away, Dashara herself kind of hovers for a minute on Screecher as some of you guys are headed over, and you can see her just like casting down like a long stare towards her residence that she's kind of established over the years as basically her retirement home, so to speak. And those of you, I believe it's Diana and Ashlyn, have the highest passive insights. Can tell that she kind of feels like she's looking at it for the last time.
No, back build.
And then she starts to make her way behind you guys, and so really the rest of it's up to you guys. What would you like to do?
So how long are we going to be on these fins heading?
It's really
How far are we traveling? Listen, you seem to have a better head for this than I do.
Right. Remembering the maps, is there anywhere I think would be a good place to hide? Somewhere near here.
I mean, this area is mainly it's open tundra for a while with light forests here and there.
Okay.
Most of the foliage is dead because of the bitter cold of winter. That's probably one of these like thicker areas of forest might be your best bet.
Okay.
Nice warm beds in Luskin.
Yes, but that is a far travel.
Well, we can see how close we could get.
Diana and I are in dire need of rest.
Dire, yeah.
Okay, as you guys
Should
are
rename.
flying, you hear this. And then again.
Jaws.
And now you hear a third one.
Are they coming from different directions?
No, they're coming from back, and basically from where you guys have come from. And Molfin, this one is basically the horn blow of frost giants who either have taken hostages or have a hostage.
Hopefully it's a banjo playing.
Molfin's not saying a bloody word.
Okay.
I know what it means. I speak giant too.
Can Molfin tell
What
if
it means, correct?
his zombie is still alive?
I don't know. Can Molfin?
Let's see here.
It almost seems like
Michael-
it's just itself. Like it just like.
It
It's
says
under
I
its
can
com-
mentally command it each turn. So I'm assuming if I keep telling it to keep running and keep playing the banjo, eventually I'm assuming I would know if it doesn't. If I don't get that mental reinforcement.
Yeah. It's from your connection, your mental connection with a zombie, your mental connection with a zombie halfling. You can tell that it's still alive. Yes.
Yeah.
Plank. Plank.
DM,
Okay.
Yes.
I do know what the horns mean, though, right? Diana does.
Go ahead and roll an intelligence check.
Okay.
Yes, you do.
Muffin! You know what those mean, right?
What do those mean?
They mean that they have hostages.
Diana, don't be insane. Why would they notify someone like this?
That's
I'm
terrible.
not saying we run back immediately. Obviously that's unrealistic. I'm actually only 1 hit point away from full health, but
What is this hit point you speak of?
Then let's go back and save the town.
I have a scratch.
No, wait. Isn't it a possibility that the hostage they have is the zombie?
Could be.
Maybe?
Well, nice
Works for me.
Possible.
But I doubt it.
I send a mental command to the zombie to bite the nearest giant to it.
Okay.
Turn it. Make a zombie giant.
Oh crap! That could be worse.
Undead frost
okay.
giants.
No! God damn it.
Worst idea ever.
And yes, Stumpy, it is quite entertaining.
Okay. So what's the plan?
Well,
We need to find a place to rest for the evening.
yeah. Can I do a perception check to see if I can find like an alcove or something?
Let's call it a survival check.
Sure.
Can I make one too?
Yeah, anybody who is trained in survival, you can go ahead and make it.
They have hostages. Does anyone care that they have hostages?
I do. Let's go back and kick one in the face.
Ashlyn's ready. She's like, I'm gonna kick one in the
Jocelyn
face.
is ready. Jocelyn is down to fight.
Diana,
Any-
I have a servant in the area. He is the hostage.
You don't know that.
I have a
don't-
mental connection with my hostage.
So you can tell that he's being
Yes.
hostage?
He is the hostage. I instructed
Is
him
he
to attempt to
Michael?
bite the giant.
Is he hostage, Michael?
Go ahead and make a deception check, Matthew. Diana, you can make an insight.
have advantage.
Come on, roll that insight with disadvantage.
Yeah,
and-
you both have disadvantage. So if all you gotta do is beat a 4, and you do.
Oh!
You know he's telling the truth about his abilities, but you're not sure that he actually knows for a fact that his zombie that he created out of your friend Jolin's father's corpse is in fact the hostage or hostages.
There has
I
to
like
be
the
something that
stress
we can
part
do.
there.
Just sure. There has to be something we can do to secure the safety of these people without stepping back into the city. Like, I could pray to Ilmater, or someone has a spell
Mine.
that
Did
protects.
that, and that resulted in a boulder being thrown at us. Can we not speak to Ilmater at this moment?
God does not create the bad situations, he just benefits off of them after the fact, okay? You chill. Ilmater did not make that happen.
I don't understand religion then.
Protect the city. Boulder.
You
Cause
just need
effect.
to just understand that if you feel guilty about anything, you're supposed to, and you just gotta pray about it.
I never feel guilty about anything.
Well, then you're going to hell.
Callista, please tell me you found us somewhere to rest for the day.
Callista,
If
you
I
do
didn't,
see.
Ashlyn does.
You do see. You see below that. Oh yeah, Ashlyn. You're kind of looking around Callista at different places. Ashlyn, you seem to find a thicket of some foliage in a light foresty area that you think would give you guys enough space to put a camp up for the night, but
I
also
can
that
stay
would
here, but
help
it's
protect you.
okay. I'm going to hell.
Everybody who's in the air, go ahead and make a perception check for me, please. All right.
Yep, it's a safe forest.
We're like landing in like a giant spider nest.
Ashlyn and Diana.
Hello.
In the distance, probably about it's far off, but you guys are in the air, so you can see a little bit, get a good vantage point. You see something like reflecting, like it's almost like, you know how when a mirror like shines in the distance of the sunlight, you catch that little reflection, that shiny, shimmering kind of glisten.
Ooh, shiny.
You catch a glimmer of that, probably at least a mile away.
Lista,
Yeah.
what do shiny things mean when you see them very far away?
It means that we should go after it because it's fun.
Can I do a nature check if they point this out to me or something?
Yeah, you can make a nature check, sure.
Sure.
It could be gold. It could be a mirror. It could be a gold mirror.
You're not.
Could be a
I
dragon.
mean, it's at this distance, pointing out, it just looks like something's being moved, and it's just catching the rays of the sun and just kind of reflecting back towards you guys.
It could be a fish.
Sure, I don't.
It could be a giant fish.
Is it in the air?
No, it appears to be near the ground. Yes,
Could
not
be
in the
a
air.
fish with a mirror. Fish with a golden mirror. What do you think it is, Diana?
What are we doing?
Oh,
I'm gonna say we start heading down to the foliage.
Okay, I'll do that too, but since I only have to like do that trancy thing, do you want me to go look at the flashy thing later?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll go with you later.
Okay.
It is a mile away.
Yeah.
It's like a
Would you
20-minute
rather
walk.
me let her go by herself?
Fair enough.
But let's rest first. Let's go down.
Let's go down. I'll set up the enchantment and take first watch.
Callista, how does pass without or Christy, how does pass without a trace work?
Let me just double check that for you.
Yeah, if you could check that, because you also got to think about, you had the several on horseback that were kind of following underneath, basically leaving
Yeah,
nice hoof prints in the snowy tundra ground.
Right.
So I'm not sure.
If we fly 30 feet above them, it should be fine.
Okay, good deal. Good to know. All right. So you guys basically spend some time setting up I'm guessing just a small camp with no fire, trying to be as stealthy and hidden as you possibly can. And there's the tiny hut. All right. Now, how big is that? A 10-foot radius.
Radius.
10-foot radius, it'll fit 9 creatures within it.
Okay.
Cuddling.
Figure the 5 of us. Sarvin makes 6. Deshara makes 7. Kentucky makes 8.
And Orangepeel.
And you've got the
Orangepeel
others. You got the other guards that are also with Deshara's band. You got 5 others.
They can watch
yeah,
us.
but
Good
they
luck,
don't
bros.
mean-
So the other 5 are just kind of like outside of the hut, like standing around,
They're guarding us.
being told to guard. They're all like frightened. As they're kind of like standing around, setting up getting their bedrolls ready out around.
No fire.
What color is the hut?
Whatever you
I mean,
want.
no, what color is the ground is what I meant.
Oh,
Basically, it's like frozen snow with like the tips of the grass kind of like poking through the grass and dead leaves like poking out through it everywhere. It's kind of like a
Basically, I want the hut to match the ground.
okay, awesome,
So it looks sort of like a little bump. And
excellent.
inside the hut, I'm going to make the stuff up and get a little fire going because things don't pass through it.
Yeah.
This way we can cook and bring food out to, somebody can bring food out to the others.
What would happen to the smoke?
We all
God.
The
die.
smoke. No,
If nothing passes through it, right? Would the
No, I
smoke
think
just
the
start
smoke-
to peer outside of the top of
No.
the hut?
yeah, the smoke would come out.
So basically, 10 foot above the fire, smoke just starts appearing out of nowhere. as you know, because you're well, to you, it just looks like a fire inside, and the smoke's just going up into the sky. But for anybody outside, it's like the smoke just starts to appear and just starts floating.
Maybe
upwards.
let's not do a fire then.
Let's
Let's not. I can cook things with my hands. We don't need a fire.
Valid point. Throw some
So
dirt
no
on it.
fire. Retcon that. No fire.
Retcon,
No
no
fire.
fire.
No smoke. No beacon. There's
We
no
got-
beacon, Michael.
There's no beacon.
So we got cooking hands, and I'm going to spend the first little while and use Identify as a ritual on the fun little things I found.
Ooh, excellent.
My 2
Excellent.
potions
boy.
and that necklace.
Okay,
Ooh, Jib.
Lachlan, is there anything that you're doing in this span of time?
Just maintenance on my crossbows and everything. To
Okay.
make sure that they're in top shape.
Oiling it up and making sure it's working good.
Playing with the grappling gun a little bit, trying not to shoot my eye out.
Sarvin actually comes back to consciousness. He's just like, he's still like a little confused, but I said, oh, why do I have this terrible rope burn around my waist? Oh, it's awful. Did one of you tie me up?
No. Yes.
What?
Maybe.
You fell out of the air. We had to do something to save you, so we used a rope.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just got so excited. I was flying again.
It happens.
I'm just really jealous of these dragons that can fly.
Tell me about
You'll
it.
get there one day.
I hope so. Be nice. So, what are you identifying first, Molfin?
First is going to be the thick blue glass bottle.
Oh, excellent.
You said the red one, the liquid looked familiar to me.
Yes, it did look familiar to you.
Okay.
Let me find this wonderful alphabetically. So, as you are identifying, I keep on skipping over the pages. I apologize. Okay. As you kind of take some time to inspect this blue bottle, you kind of open up the cork and you kind of smell inside. You smell it smells like iron or some kind of metal. And you, at a closer inspection, it even looks like liquefied iron inside. And after casting your Identify, you have this notion that this is a potion of invulnerability, which mechanically, for 1 minute after you drink this potion, you have resistance to all damage. So any damage you take, no matter what it is, any damage is halved
You're a barbarian for a minute.
Mhm.
I'm sure we have somebody on the front line who could benefit from this.
Uh-huh.
This
And
necklace is beautiful.
the potion that you found is actually a potion of greater healing.
Ooh.
Okay, so that would be 4d4 plus 4 hit points rather than the 2d4 plus 2 that the normal ones had.
Wow.
So that is a potion of greater healing. And oh, here it is. And further inspection on this necklace, it has kind of like a golden chain, and it has this heart carved. And a closer inspection of the heart, you can see that the heart has 2 faces carved on either side. One of it's kind of like a happy, kind of grinning face, and the other side's more like a sad, depressed-looking face within the heart itself. The heart has this golden ring that goes through it, and that's where the hand kind of grips the golden ring. It's kind of like this hand is dangling from the chain, and it's holding this heart with 2 faces in the center. This is called a parapet of health. And basically, anyone who's wearing this, whoever's wearing it, is immune to contracting any disease. And if you are already infected with the disease, the effects of the disease are suppressed while you wear the pendant. So basically, it's a protection against any disease whatsoever.
Nice.
And it also looks kind of cool. Here's, I probably didn't do it justice describing it, so I'm going to try to get it on the video there. Can you guys see that?
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Can you guys see that little
cool.
hand
Oh, yeah.
holding the heart-shaped
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah,
That's what that looks like, and it's on like a golden, simple golden chain. Looks relatively elegantly crafted as well. So,
She'll have to discuss this with the others when everyone is awake. As Malfador turns over looks at the snoring Diana.
yeah,
Yeah,
Diana
before I
is enjoying
before
every
I
moment
rest.
of her
Yeah,
rest.
she needs it. I take a moment to speak Draconic to the Sending Stone.
New
Okay.
phone. Who did?
Often to look at Lachlan while this is happening. New fandangled things.
Yeah.
Always come in some foreign language you can never understand.
Nothing like good old magic and stuff.
Callista, you get a response in Draconic. It is the voice of Clarion, and he says to you through the Sending Stone, I'm currently returning from Mirabar. It will take me some time to get to you. And it just basically, he says, just give me some time. And then
Okay.
that's the end of the message.
Eh.
You guys.
You guys.
That is not. You don't even know what she said to him. You Brett.
This is just player talking to player, man.
Sure.
Often you'll be talking to no Diana. Diana's unconscious.
Thanks for the call.
All right. Throughout the night, as you guys are, as Molfin, as you're kind of going through your rituals and identifying these things, and the rest of your sleeping, you hear these horn blasts, roughly like every 20 to 30 minutes,
No. Oh, that's not good.
and they just kind of keep on blowing from the place that you just came from. You still get those.
Are they getting
those?
closer or anything? Or
No, seems to be stationary.
Phew.
What about the shiny thing? Is that stationary?
As the sun went down, as you guys were setting up your camp, you didn't see any. It's kind of like as soon as the sun went down, the rays didn't have anything to reflect off of anymore, and you didn't see anything.
Oh, nuts.
Probably just a giant chunk of platinum.
We will go into it tomorrow.
everything's either platinum or diamond to Lachlan. Like he's like, there's got to be something out there. All right. So what you guys doing?
Callista, what you cooking?
Elk meat. That's what we have.
Do you think Ferguson would like elk meat? You're a druid.
How long's that elk meat been in the bag of holding?
I also smoked a lot of it. Remember, like I dried a lot of it out, and like
Yeah, she made some good
So-
elk jerky.
Oh, that's
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Probably
Maybe I'll
tasty.
give some elk jerky, like, little things to Ferguson.
I don't think he eats that, honey.
What does he
Maybe does Callista know this? Does Callista know what water animals eat? Like plankton?
It would eat plankton, but Callista, you know that this creature inside there is dead.
Huh?
It's just kind of floating around in the bottle, and it appears to be alive just because of the just natural form of this little jellyfish. But it is in fact dead. Ashlyn does not know that though.
Does Callista have the heart to tell her?
I don't know, does she?
Or no heart? Does she have no heart or a heart? I don't know.
does
Let's roll for
Ferguson get
this.
hungry?
Should I roll for this?
I'm not gonna insight check you. Like, Ashlyn doesn't insight check anyone. She just,
She just trusts everything that you say.
yeah, I've got like +7 to insight.
Happened
I don't
there.
insight check it.
Oh, it just eats when there's sun. It's able to eat. It's like a plant.
No way! Ferguson's
Yeah.
so cool. Okay, I'll leave him out in the sun a little more.
Okay.
Thank you.
Make sure he stays warm.
Okay, thank you.
Callista and Ashlyn, I know you guys have the natural 20 already, but go ahead and give your characters DM's inspiration as well for that for that role play right there.
Just leave it in the sun. It's fine.
Are the rest of us awake for this?
Ashlyn is looking around for the sun and realizes it's nighttime.
Yeah, just a little moonlight.
She's like holding it up, and you can see the moon like shining through the bottle, and this little dead jellyfish just floating around in this milky kind of salty-looking water.
Are Lachlan and Molfen awake for this?
Lachlan, did you go to sleep yet?
I'm sleeping if it's not, my watch.
Okay. Yeah, if they're awake, then they're probably taking the watch. So Lachlan would be asleep. Diana's nestled, taking her nap. Sarvin scoots over towards Ashlyn. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think I've been meaning up." And he kind of pats. I thought I had something to give you. Oh, there it is. Oh, and he pulls out this little figurine that he made of Ashlyn, and he holds it out to you and hands it to you. What do you think?
This is the most awesome thing I've ever gotten besides Ferguson. Thank you so much.
Oh no, it's and look, and you can see like you have your quarterstaff like in your hands, and you have one foot extended, just like you're kicking a giant in the face. He's like,
It's amazing. I hug Sarvin.
oh, I'm glad you like it.
Oh, this is amazing. Hey, can you tell me about the time that you plucked the eye out of the beholder? Because that never gets old.
Oh, yes, I can tell you about that. Oh, and I just added a new one. The time that I shot the frost
Callista's
giant
going to sleep.
right through the eye with an arrow.
That's amazing.
I'll
Yeah.
go to sleep.
You were there. You should remember.
Yeah, but tell me again.
Oh, I will. Well, I was standing there on the edge of the cliffside, you know, and he just kind of continues on with his story as it kind of as the camera pans to other individuals. Molfin, you finished all your rituals. What would you be doing at this point after you?
Sort of look over at Callista, and where she's already asleep. Guess I'll have to deal with everyone in the morning.
Okay.
Then just finding a nice warm space to lay down for the night, and as Muffin lays down,
I'll take third watch for whoever's gonna wake me up.
darkens the inside of the dome.
Okay.
Shuts the lights out.
He shuts the lights off. Molfin just like snap of his fingers, and it's dark inside. It cuts out all the natural moonlight. It's just all gone. And you guys can see that all the rest of Deshara's guards are kind of just like hiding behind trees, and they've got like their crossbows, and they're just like looking back and forth. Every 20 minutes they hear these horn blasts in a distance from terrifying frost giants, and they're standing out in the cold just like looking out.
As Molfin's head hits down and he realizes the horn blast happened again, going into my stuff, pulling out my set of common clothing, and basically wrapping my head, leaving my nose and mouth open to try to like deaden the sound so I can get a solid night's sleep.
Molfin does the what I do, like putting your pillow like over top of your head, basically with common clothes. Who is currently taking watch right now? It's Ashlyn by yourself. Go ahead and make
I
go
guess
ahead and make your perception check, Ashlyn. And Sarvin. Yeah, Sarvin will make one too. I'm gonna make Sarvin's at disadvantage because he's too busy talking.
Okay.
Accurate.
So I think it will roll advantage and disadvantage. Oh yeah, you guys all do about the same. Sarvin kind of looks at you, Ash. He just stops mid-sentence. Did you feel that?
Feel what?
I just felt like a little bit of a shake.
No.
Must have been imagining it. Well, anyway, as I was staring the giant right in the face, I was watching the tip of the arrow as it flew from the bow, and you could see it was like a slow motion as the feathers just kind of raked off the top of my hand through the shot. I could watch the arrow, and it was traveling so far down. And then, as the giant looked up and opened its eye wide, I could see the arrow pluck right into the center of its eyeball.
That's marvelous.
It was amazing. You could just hear it billow in pain, like and reach up to grab its eye. I
did hear a billow in pain.
I looked at Joel and I said, "Now, you bravely take a shot as well." And we both did there, and we took down that frost giant, and it fell to its death.
That's amazing. It's so awesome.
Sarvin and Ashlyn continue to have conversations like this until Ashlyn's watch is up. So Ashlyn, who was taking the second watch? Do you know who was?
Didn't Callista say she was taking watch after me?
Yeah.
And Ashlyn, were you going to investigate at all?
No, because the light went out, so
Okay.
I have no idea where it went.
Okay, gotcha. So you go ahead and wake up Callista?
Yeah, I go, Callista.
Okay. Yeah.
Hi.
All right.
Hi.
And Ashlyn heads off. Well, doesn't really head off because you guys are all within 10 feet of each other, lying in this small circle.
I spoon Diana.
Diana is like loudly snoring. Like this is
Yeah.
the best sleep that she's had in like 5 episodes. So and Ashlyn kind of heads off to sleep as well.
Okay.
Sarvin starts to yawn a little bit and like, I was I was gonna try to stay up with you, Callista, but I don't think I'm gonna make it.
Don't push yourself. Just go sleep.
Well, do you think you could handle things on your own? You don't need me to keep you
I'll
company.
be fine.
Oh.
No, I'll be fine.
And Sarvin looks to Jolin, who's kind of he looks like he's dreaming or something, and he has like a smile on his face. No, the life of a halfling. Unfortunately, he's had a rather rough one. I hope we can reunite him with his family one day.
Maybe easier than he thinks.
Calista just like does a slow blink, like, yep.
He had 8 kids. Yes. And Sarvin's like, well, if you need me, wake me.
I know where to find you.
Oh,
Yep.
absolutely. Callista, I need to come up with a title for you.
Again, don't push yourself. Go to sleep.
Fair enough. And he lays his head
Mhm.
down, and it's not within like a couple minutes. He's completely passed out.
Yeah. I'm gonna put Cleo with is it Salim?
Yes.
Is that yeah, I'm gonna put Cleo with Salim and Diana and let them cuddle, and I'll kinda like sit on the edge of the tiny hut so I can look out with my dark vision.
All right. Go ahead and make a perception check.
I'm gonna do this with advantage because why not? You gave me that inspo, I'll take it.
All right. Using the DM's inspiration.
Yeah.
Nice. Callista the Conqueror.
Oh god.
Callista the Klepto.
Oh, even that doesn't help.
Yeah, you're kind of keeping your eye on everything. People are like Diana and Sarvin and even Molfin. Like everybody's like being this close to everyone sleeping is throwing you off. Like you're used to
Yeah,
when
it
you
is.
take your watch, you're used to kind of giving yourself some space or kind of walking around, but you feel kind of cramped in this little tiny hut with everybody right now. So it's kind of throwing your bearings off. But aside from that, your 2 hours of watch come to an end. Seemingly nothing happening other than the billowing horn every 20 to 30 minutes that continues on through the night.
Okay.
And who would be the next to take watch?
Is it Molfin?
Molfin, were you taking the next watch? Actually, it would only take you guys one more watch because if Ashlyn only needed to trance, she could have kept her watch for 4 hours, the initial 4
Okay,
hours.
sure.
So we just need one more.
Then, yeah, Molfin will take last.
All right. So Callista awakens Molfin, who has got a shirt basically wrapped around his head.
I'll take the shirt off of his head.
It's-
Wakey.
Callisto, that time already?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
All right. Molfin, go ahead and make a perception check for me, please.
Get some sleep, mother hen.
Molfin. About well, yeah, you had full sleep, so you don't have disadvantage. Maybe about 120 feet away, there is another bushel of trees in the distance that, as you're kind of looking out of the hut, there appears to be something that looks like a massive skull. Like, that you can see bits of in the midst of this, like shrubs and broken down trees and things like that.
A massive skull?
Yes. Like,
Huh.
it looks like... From this distance, it's hard to tell, but it's like a dinosaur or dragon skull. Like, in the midst of these trees.
Nothing else going on around me?
Doesn't appear to
I'm
be.
looking around and say, I am actually, Oh, wait, that's... Dang it, yeah, it's an hour even without the ritual tag. Bollocks. Oh, I know what I shall do. So, Molfen is going to, I'm going to ask the DM's ruling on this one, because this is what I'm thinking is going to be a little odd. So,
okay.
the dome
Throw it at me,
remains-
Matthew. Throw it at me.
the dome remains as long as I remain within its area. What I'm seeking to do is walk right up, basically sit down, scooch right to the edge of the dome,
Okay.
stick my 2 hands through, and as a ritual cast Unseen Servant. To summon my Unseen Servant outside of the dome.
Sure, I'd allow that. Makes sense.
Then,
Yeah, that would work.
and then as
But how
Oh.
far? Like this is about 120 feet away. How far can your unseen servant
that's
go?
right. Yeah, we went over that before. It is only
I think it has to be
30 feet, I
within
think. 60 feet.
60 feet of you. Yeah.
The other one is an hour, so that's not going to work. So yeah, never mind. We'll retcon that because we went and have that discussion before.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, at least
I
now
would
we
love
know.
to send I would love to send someone over there, but Poochwa is dead. Well, I am just...
Lachlan coughs and rolls over in his sleep. He seems to be dreaming or something.
He looks much too peaceful. Wolf will sort of walk over, smack him around a little bit lightly on the face. Wake up, wake up. Shh. Be quiet. Be quiet.
He's like ready to punch him in the face.
Come here. There is something I need you to look at. And
No, I don't want to. Keep your shirt on.
I am fully clothed, you delinquent little troll.
So gross! So gross! The visual!
I think we just got
There's
tonight's
something I need you to look at on my back!
tonight's episode title. Keep your shirt on.
Lachlan, do not make me turn you over to Callista.
Okay, what's up?
First things first, come over here and look. You see yon 100 feet or so over there, that rather large-looking skull?
Do I see it?
Oh yeah. He points it out to you. You can see it. Go ahead and make a perception check, though, Lachlan. See if you see anything else.
Oh,
Nope. You just see a skull.
cool.
Somebody needs to go over there and check it out. And I, unfortunately, cannot leave the dome or else everyone's protection is gone.
As you guys are watching, it shifts just the slightest bit.
That's great.
Did you see that,
You know
Grant?
what? Let us not send you, and,
You don't know.
I know what
Never
we're
mind.
going to do. Muffin's going to walk over and wake up Ashlyn.
Oh.
Okay. And as you're
I mean,
doing
she's
that,
just like,
so you're waking up Ashlyn. Lachlan, are you like staying there, like watching the skull?
Yeah.
Okay, make an insight check for me.
Insight, huh?
Yeah, let's make an insight. You have the feeling like you're being watched.
Ashlyn?
Yeah.
We may have a situation here, and...
Perhaps.
Yes, Lachlan.
I feel creepy.
But you're not sure if it's you that is being watched because, it could be the guards outside. You're not 100% sure, but it feels like that same feeling that you got before whenever you felt like you've been watched before.
Yeah. I feel like we're being watched.
Yeah, because the griffins are outside the hut too, so they're like outside, like tied to things and.
Okay. Well, okay, if this is the case,
Yes, Uncle Muffin?
give me a moment. It's time to get everyone in on this.
Okay.
Diana, Kalissa, up.
Oh,
What?
Diana, you wake up, but you feel fantastic. You feel like you just feel like you had the best night's sleep ever on this cold, terrible ground. But you,
Is this about the rumbling that Starvin felt last night? That I didn't.
I was
Alright, so-
unaware of any rumbling. This is about the
Sarvin
rather
yawns. Oh yeah, a little rumble. I felt it underneath underneath the seat of my bottom.
Well, there is now a rather
They
large
produced it?
skull over there
Uh-huh.
that both
Must have been
Lachlan
something
and
I
I have
ate.
seen move.
Can
But
I
help
Go
me.
kick it?
Is this
Can
one
I-
of your undead things, Molfin?
Can I do a nature check?
If I
Can I
could make
kick
something
it?
this large, Diana, we would have slain all the giants originally.
Yeah, you can roll a nature check, Callista, if you'd like.
Can I stealth
Can I
over and
roll a
kick it?
perception check to like try and look at it?
Yeah.
Oh!
Callista, upon your nature check, you can tell that you have seen one of these before. You've actually seen it on Drufai, who attacked Bryn Shander. She was wearing atop her a skull of a white dragon. This looks very similar. It's a skull of a white dragon that you see. Diana, you can see not only that there are this dragon skull, but you can see two large eyes underneath looking towards your direction. And what looks something is hiding, something large is hiding in this area of trees.
Michael, why?
And
We have
mind
30
you,
minutes left.
and that all happens with Ashlyn.
And Ashlyn stealthed out. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Oh, so Ashlyn actually, and when you guys realize this, you look around. Ashlyn is not here anymore.
My can based off that nature check, could I make the connection based off what Clarion has told us about a white dragon?
You could make a connection, but it's just a skull.
So it's just the skull.
It's the skull. Now
Doesn't
the nature check only reveals about the skull, so the information is it looks exactly like a white dragon skull. Diana's the one who, with her high perception check, can see that there is something underneath the skull that is
Oh, okay.
so
kind of hiding.
so hang on. So is it like the eyes are peering through both eye sockets of it? Like is this thing's head as big as a dragon skull?
No, it appears to be wearing the skull on top of its head.
So, but it is big enough to wear a dragon skull head.
Yes.
So it's like a large creature at least.
At least. Probably bigger than large.
Calista.
Okay.
Ashlyn, so you start to approach,
No.
and you hear, in common, coming from the trees where the skull is, "Shh! Do not be alarmed. I mean you no harm."
Okay.
She's so cute.
Have you heard the horn blasts?
Fear.
Yes. Have you?
Yes, I've been hearing them all night. I've been heading in this direction to see what it was all about.
What are you?
Ashlyn, you can see as you get closer that this is in fact a frost giant.
My God, I had a feeling.
But he's wearing this large white dragon skull as a helmet. And his armor looks totally different from the frost giants that you've come across. It's more of like a plate mail, and it glistens in the moonlight as well. It's now actually starting the sun is actually starting to rise. You can see that it has like a sparkle.
Ferguson.
Wow, that's
Without a beat, like not even a second after you say it.
And-
Yes!
What are you holding? What is that?
This is Ferguson. He needs sunlight. Keep talking. What's
He-
your name?
My
Oh my god.
well, my name is Harshnag.
Hi, Harshnag. I'm Ashley. This is Ferguson.
Hello there, Ashlyn and Ferguson. You said it needed sunlight?
Yes. I'll put him away for now. Don't worry. I'll
Oh,
be fine.
Okay.
So
well,
what brings you here?
There's horn blasts.
Mm-hmm.
I've been following them for quite some time. I just saw that there was some other people hiding out, and I didn't exactly know what was going on, so I approached
you can hide
quietly.
with us.
I can hide with you.
You seem very nice, right?
Well, do you think I don't want to startle anyone? I know how
Okay.
most people feel about most frost giants.
I'll go first, okay?
Okay.
So I go out on
So you want me to just walk behind you?
Yeah, I'll go out
Okay.
and
You can
just hold my hand.
hold your hand.
Hold my hand.
It's gonna be rather difficult, my dear.
It's okay. I can raise my hand really high.
Okay. So Arshnag holds out his hand, and you basically are like holding on to one of his pinkies,
Okay.
and he's hunched over, like completely hunched over, like walking steadily, slowly towards you, and you can feel like the ground is rumbling just a bit, even though he's trying to be easy on the steps. As the footfalls start to walk, and you guys all see this massive frost giant standing up out of this foliage with this skull on its head, and Ashlyn is holding on to its pinky, walking it straight towards you.
Hey
So-
everybody, this is my friend Harshnag. He's very nice.
Two of those guards that were sitting outside go, ah! they start running away in the opposite direction and dive
he's
and
nice.
dive behind some foliage.
Okay. Well, he looks scary, but he's really nice. He even asked about Ferguson.
And in common, he just kind of shouts out to everybody, I mean you no harm.
He means no harm.
Can I do an insight check?
Sure, absolutely. Anybody who'd like to insight can.
Diana is wary but willing to trust.
Lachlan, yeah, legit. Everybody seems to be on the up and up. I mean, seems to check out. He doesn't look like he has hatred or rage in his eyes like the other frost giants did whenever you faced them.
I had my hands burning. I will slowly snuff them, but
Okay.
I'm still on guard.
Gotcha.
Mulfin is looking at Callista like she's crazy. Hands her the potion. Says,
Of what?
"This potion will aid you should things injure you. This will add additional resistance to it. As for, why were you lighting up your hands? It's only us in here." And with that, Mulfin turns and walks out of the dome and the spell drops.
And the dome completely dissipates, and now you guys.
Yep.
Oh, and Harshnag's. There's a big group of you. I don't mean to startle anyone. I was just following the horn blasts.
Oh no, you shouldn't do that. You should stay with us instead.
Mulfin looks up and in giant, giving somewhat of a deep bow. "Mulfin Zodnik murders Wispintel Green East, and associates at your service."
And associates.
He kind of like just looks down. He's got this large, straight. I always refer to it as a ZZ Top looking beard. He kind of looks down and he kind of gives you a little bit of a smile, Mulfin. And in giant, he says his name, Harshnag. Pleasure. He seems like he's not the best a giant in social situations. And as you look at the blood-stained armor that he has on him, and he's got this massive great axe strapped to his back that is very prominent. It looks different from any of the other great axes that you've seen most of these frost giants wield. He looks well decorated. And Mulfin, you can make a history check. And Lachlan, you can make an intelligence check with advantage because your family resided in Waterdeep for a little while. Is there anybody else that has Waterdeep in their character backstory or anything like that?
I am burning my DM's inspiration on this one.
Okay, excellent. 25 and a 16. Lachlan, when he says his name, you have heard this name before. Harshnag. He was a part of an adventuring party that slips your mind that came to the aid of Waterdeep on several occasions when they needed them the most. And he was able to thwart off any serious threats to the city. So his name is a very good thing around the city of Waterdeep. Now, there are other towns that kind of have odd feelings about him just because he's different than most frost giants. But sometimes his recklessness can get carried away at times, but you can tell from the stories that you've heard on the streets of Waterdeep that he's relatively a good guy. Mulfin, you've read stories that he was a member of an adventuring party named Force Grey.
Oh my god.
And this adventuring party had a very big impact on the North, being able to stop several things from happening. Most of that isn't important to this story, but you know that he is a very. It's kind of like, Drizzt as the good aligned drow. It's a very rare occurrence that a frost giant is good aligned just because of the nature of who they are. But this guy has a history of slaying his brethren because of their just being wretched and evil.
Mulfin will look at him and once more in giant say, the rest of your comrades from Force Grey joining us, and are you here to aid us in taking back Fireshear?
I haven't seen the rest of my party in quite a long time. Ever since the ordning was shattered, I have my own mission.
Common, please, common.
Excuse me. He kind of switches up. I was just telling the Mulfin. It was. I was just telling Mulfin here that I have not seen other members of my adventuring party in quite some time, as I had left to embark upon my new mission since the ordning has been shattered.
Ooh, what's your new mission?
My mission is to stop my brethren from all the chaos and things that they are causing on the North. And currently I'm looking for some relics.
Cool. Well,
Yes,
we
we have-
can't help you with that, but you should be part of our adventuring party for now.
Oh, I have been seeking adventurers that may help the cause.
Okay.
We have been advised of the situation through a friend of ours, told by some extraplanar entities that we would have a role to play in this situation with your ordering.
Well, he kind of looks at all of you. Well, maybe it's no coincidence that we have met this day.
But before we can look at that, I fear at least one of us here is most eager to return to Fireshear. And with your aid, perhaps we can deal with these frozen fools and their confounded horn.
I'm going to show you guys a handout. Do you guys all see this?
Yep.
The figure in the background of this image,
He's a
Not
big guy.
bad.
is basically who you guys are looking at. You can see the
I look
skull
up
on his
to him
head.
and I'm like, "You're so majestic."
I've been called many things, my dear. Majestic hasn't been one of them. But thank you.
You're welcome.
He kind of looks over to you, Mulfin. He's like, you guys are so pleasant.
So are you.
We have our moments.
It's not very often that
Harshnag.
I get treated this way. Yes,
Have you ever met the King of the Frozen Far?
King of the Frozen Far. Sarvin kind of is looking. Yeah, that's me. And Harshnag's. Oh, I can't say that I have. Sarvin
Well,
just.
he's cool.
Sarvin doesn't say a word. He just stands there. He's like looking.
Most people haven't heard of him. It's okay. Don't be bothered by it.
Sarvin's speechless.
Sarvin kind of looks over towards Callista with like an awful look. Like,
I'm smirking right now because this amuses me greatly that he's finally shut up.
well, and he's standing there. He kind of like stomps off. You can hear the crunch of snow underneath his feet as he kind of walks off, huffing and puffing as he goes. First Diana, now Callista. I tell you, can't make one a figurine, and I can't get no respect from the other.
I've been like this since day one. Where have you been?
Sarvin,
I'm trying, Callista. I'm trying. He throws his hands in the air and he just continues on.
Callista's so mean.
You see him like he like punches a tree and just keeps walking.
Oh.
Callista, how do you feel about odds at Fireshear with, well,
I look at the
This on our
giant and I say, we're used to dealing with different. And I lower my hood.
Oh. Well, when different is definitely what I am. I can see that you all are a vast variety of
Every
individuals.
Yeah, every last one of us. And I look over at Sarvin pointedly.
He's still grumbling as he's walking away. always trying to get some respect around here. I just tell you. And Harshnag is kind of looking around. Oh, you all remind me of my adventuring party. We all had quite a good time with our own quarrels as well between party members. But so these horn blasts, they sound so familiar to me. They've got hostages.
How many would you say?
They could be holding the whole city, for all we know.
Oh no.
we know they seek an individual by the name of Artist Simba. Does that name mean anything to you? Supposedly he carries the Ring of Winter. It is marked on the charts we found.
Interesting. I have heard tales of the Ring of Winter. I do not know what it is that it does that makes it so appealing, but I've heard of other adventuring parties taking up after it. Artis Simburn does not ring a bell to me.
Oh. Is there anywhere we could send these giants in Fireshear that would be better equipped to deal with them? Perhaps offer up this Artis Simba and this ring as, perhaps if you go here where he was last, find him. Or are they liable to just destroy the city and then go to where we tell them?
From the sound of those blasts, it sounds like they are... they're held up and ready to destroy whatever they can.
Diana, what say you?
I don't know. I told you so about the hostages, so there's that.
And I told you it is my undead minion.
I know
Looking around to
good
see
and
if
well
Orangepeel is
that
anywhere near me.
Yeah, Jolin's
I
like
know
standing there.
good and well.
It's like undead minion. What does that even mean?
Yeah,
Don't
I,
mind your little hobbit head over it. Halfling head, sorry.
It's
Trademark word.
trademarked.
I don't know. Having another frost giant with us makes us more formidable. I just
Oh, trust
Clarion
me.
says he.
Trust me, dear.
Clarion-
The minute they see me, it's all gonna break loose.
Yeah.
Ashnag,
Clarion says he's coming, but he needs time.
Let's go break stuff loose.
time.
I'm not sure how long you guys want to wait, but
Not
we
very
do have the
long.
possibility of having Clarion with.
I don't know who Clarion is, so my arms are getting tired.
Ashnag, would it be possible? My legs are rather small and I am somewhat of an elderly noob. Would it be possible to ride on your shoulder on our way back to Fireshear?
Make a persuasion check.
How, of-
Damn it.
Aw.
This is when I need that.
how often do you get asked this question? I have to ask. I ask.
You have a nat 20.
No, I don't. You do.
Yeah, you do.
I do. Wait, I say, I
You go.
have a nat 20, so I
What?
say, can I ride on your shoulder? And I use my nat 20.
Yeah. Muffin. He looks at Muffin as Muffin is asking this question. He's like, well, with all due respect, Muffin, there is, I fear that a fall from this distance could put such a strain on him. I would prefer it if that didn't happen. And then as soon as Ashlyn says, she's like, oh, sure, my dear. And he leans down and she hops up onto his shoulder. And he stands up. It's like, it's just safer for you down there, Muffin, if you understand.
Hi, Uncle Molson. Good idea.
And Ashlyn has used her nat 20, so I'm going to make sure I
Yep.
get rid of that. Ashlyn's nat 20 is gone, persuading it to ride on Harshnag's shoulder.
In Primordial, Molfin is just walking away. Color language. There is not one non-foul word coming out of his mouth right now. I don't know anyone in the party or anyone from the mercs can speak it. It's just nothing but beep, 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 beep.
Let me see.
I have Infernal, so I have an idea of what you're saying, but I don't know what you're saying.
You're in
I have-
Primordial. Let me
I
see. Let me see if Harshnag can understand that.
I have infernal and celestial.
Nope,
so-
he doesn't understand. He just sounds like mumbling.
Infernal's close, so you guys are probably picking up a couple of things that are...
Yeah, that's what I was
Now,
thinking.
that's probably not child-friendly.
Oh.
And Molfin is going to find one of the Zentarm's horses and just look at the person on and just say, I'm going to sit behind you, as I have things to do on our way back. And sit on the other horse, and as a ritual, going to start casting Find Familiar.
Okay,
Oh.
awesome. Yeah, so he kind of holds his hand down, and you step up onto the horse as they're getting things packed up. Anything else that you guys would be doing at this point?
I don't even know if he's going the same way as our party.
Harshnag kind of looks at you guys, and it says, "What good news is that those horn blasts, not only do they signify that they have hostages, but they've been searching for you all night. So currently, I have a feeling that they're going to be split up."
And they have one level of exhaustion.
They do.
Yes. Did you?
They would mechanically if they were up all night blowing the horn and searching for all of you. Yeah.
I love
How they
that.
didn't find like 6 griffins, 5 Zentarm guards, and a frost giant wandering around is beyond me, but
Hmm.
Or maybe
Can
they did.
I, knowing this, can I get on Malik
Mhm.
and cast invisibility on both of us so I can scout ahead
Yeah.
and see if I can do a perception on where the giants are, or if I could see where they've split, or if I could see one of them?
Yeah, you could do that. So Callista climbs aboard the saddle of Malik, and with her incantations, all of a sudden just goes and just disappears. And then you guys can hear the flapping of wings as Malik takes to the sky.
Show off.
Go ahead and make, since Screecher is not with you, go ahead and make an animal handling check for me to see how well Malik follows your instructions without being guided by the light in front of him. Yeah, very good. So Malik seems to be getting comfortable with you as the rider, Callista, and you guys are kind of soaring around, kind of just navigating through the area. You can see that something has thrown the frost giants off course. You're not sure exactly what it was, but it seems two groups of them have headed northward. There are 3 that are grouped together, and then 2 that are grouped together. One's more northwest, one's more northeast, as they're continuing to kind of like spread out. Back at the hovel, you can see that there is the well-decorated frost giant holding what looks like this massive curved horn made out of some kind of tusk or something that he's been using to blow all night. And there are 3 other frost giants with him, kind of all surrounding the area, just looking towards the outskirts of the lighter wooded areas. And then to this, like, kind of in Fireshear, there are 2 giants that are kind of just roaming around, just crushing buildings. Just any, like, little igloo areas. They're just taking these large hammers that they have and just crushing them down. And if anyone is inside them hiding, just basically just crushing them inside.
No.
Do I see any hostages?
When you swooped by in the horn, tied to one of the horse posts is the elder Orangepeel zombie,
Oh no!
roped up to this post, and he's keeps trying to bite at the air in front of him.
Oh no.
Just frantically just biting, snapping his teeth and biting.
So dark. Is he the only one?
Yeah, from what you can see, yes. It seems that they are trying to. The other 2 giants in Fireshear are like. It almost seems like the only people that they're crushing underneath their houses, which you can presume would maybe be elderly people who can't quite get out.
Right.
And it doesn't seem like they're caring to take prisoners. It looks like they're crushing these buildings and like shuffling through, getting whatever that they can gather.
Now, the boulders that were keeping them in the mines, are they still in place?
There are some that are keeping in place, but they didn't quite get all the boulders put up in the mine. So there are some openings in the mine, but you don't see any notion that anybody has emerged from there. So, from all you can tell, that the people are still held up in there, and they're just waiting for some kind of signal to come out.
How far from Fireshear are the 2 groups?
Oh, they're a good distance out. You're kind of confident that even if you got into combat with them, that the other groups probably couldn't hear.
Okay, so we could stream. So if we wanted to, we could streamline straight to Fireshear, and we would avoid the other 2.
Yes.
On each side.
Yes.
Okay. I will let everybody know that.
And you also notice that eagle is still with the guy with the horn, the frost giant with the horn. And from what you can tell is going to be like a lookout.
Yeah. Okay.
At this point, while you're kind of cruising around, he's just kind of rested on the frost giant's shoulder. Probably just taking a quick break. And as you make one last pass, you see the elder Orangepeel continuing to bite at the air in front of him. And as he chomps like one more time, you see a couple of his teeth fall out.
What?
A couple of his teeth fall out.
Oh.
Wow, she got close.
I mean, I can get as close as I want. Before I come back, can I see what Deshara's place looks like?
Yeah, at this point, it doesn't look like it's been messed with.
Okay.
It looks like they went through and pulled a bunch of stuff out of the. It looks like they like ripped the hole in the side of the stables and kind of pulled a bunch of stuff out. Gosh, you guys. Lachlan not caring about the elderly. But it almost seems like to you, Callista, they're trying to get you guys to come back. And they're trying to use a hostage situation to draw you near.
Worst hostage ever.
That all depends on what Callista tells the group.
Where is the Orangepeel kid? The guy?
He's still with the like what did you ask? Like
where is he in relation to the group?
He's still hanging out with everybody. He's kind of sparked up a friendship with Sarvin. So he's actually walked away and he's trying to calm Sarvin down right now.
Okay. Then while the two of them are busy, I will let them know that they do in fact have a hostage, but it's only the zombie.
So as Callista comes back and gets rid of the invisibility spell, she starts to explain what she saw. And it's up to you what anything else that you want to tell them, Callista. It's totally up to you.
Yeah, I'll tell them everything, I think.
Harshnag looks at Ashley and is like, you have a zombie?
I don't have a zombie.
You don't have a zombie?
Uncle Muffin has a zombie.
He's your uncle?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, that creates a whole new dynamic, doesn't it?
I don't know what that means.
Is it difficult adventuring with your uncle?
No, he's fine.
You know, sometimes you just can't do business with family members. Usually, it's just...
I know, he took
Crazy.
my rope.
He took your what?
He took my rope.
Oh, your rope. Why didn't you take it back?
Oh my god.
Why didn't you
I
take
don't
it back?
I should.
You could
And
take
my
it.
banjo.
I think
Actually, my banjo.
I think I'll ask him to give you your rope back.
Thank you.
Sure. I'll do that for you.
Oh, you're my best friend. Thank you,
Excuse
Harshnag.
me.
In total, how many people are with us?
In
So I
total,
know.
how many people are with you?
Not Diana.
So
Yeah,
Diana,
for
you're
like-
my best friend.
So you've got
That's right.
everybody plus Harshnag. So that's
Mhm.
the 5 of you plus Harshnag. Then you've got Deshara. You've got Kentucky, and then the other 5 guards.
Wow.
You've got Sarvin and Jolin. And you also have 8 riding horses
Jesus.
and
That's 18.
and 6 griffins.
24.
Double the population of a village.
Holy crap.
Okay.
We are our own village now.
Okay.
And Harshnag counts for about 3 people. So,
Okay.
at least.
It's as many as I want. So going forward, I'm casting Cats Without a Trace, and I say we go quickly as possible, but quietly as possible, and go straight for Fireshear while the other 2 parties are off doing their own thing.
Toward
And go
the
towards.
What's the plan?
We want to kill the main giant. We need to
Harshnag gets his great axe and just like takes it off his back. He's, I was born for this, and starts like just running his fingers kind of like loosely across the
Get it,
blade of the.
Harshnag.
And the Muffin, make an Arcana check for
Oh
me.
boy.
Anybody else who's trained in Arcana can make this check, but I'm just not sure. Maybe Diana would be.
Oh, I am not.
My magic is nature.
Okay, Diana,
Magic
are you
fine.
not trained in Arcana?
I am not.
Okay.
I think I could have studied it, but I chose not.
Molfin, there is something arcane about this great axe that he is holding, and you got the same vibe from the armor that he wears as well. This guy, he means business.
So I will get on Malik. So long as no one's arguing with me.
Arguing? No.
Arguing, disagreeing.
Planet.
I mean, always, but you know.
How long does it take to get back to Fireshear?
You guys aren't very far away. It won't take long.
We didn't go very far.
Maybe 15 to 20 minutes.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
You found the nicest place. You didn't want to get too far away because as far as what I was remembering, you guys were going to come back anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay.
So I do Pest Without a Trace. So
All right.
everybody stealth it up.
all right, anybody who would like to make stealth checks, you can make it and add 10 to
So
your
I'm
check.
I'm using my nat 20 because I don't think I'm gonna use it otherwise.
All
Oh,
right,
he's got
nat
40
20.
stealth.
Yeah. Excellent.
Oh, we're both 30s.
Wow.
Lachlan has a 40 because he adds 10
Oh,
to that.
shit. He does.
He is. Yeah.
He's
Lachlan.
gone.
Wow.
Lachlan, somehow,
is my-
are you flying on one of the griffins, Lachlan?
Yeah.
You're like somehow like attached to the side of it, so it doesn't even look like it has a rider. Like you're like underneath the wing as it flaps. Nobody can see
Native
it.
style. They do that at rodeos. They'll like drop down, and that's how Native Americans would avoid getting hit by rifles in
Yes.
wars
There
with
you
the
go.
American soldiers. Ta-da!
Whoa.
There you go. Yeah.
Drop in
Is-
at his
That's what I'm doing.
knowledge.
Is my driver, the horse that I'm casting my ritual on the back, is he stealthing?
Sure. He'll stealth. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me, Molfin.
Okay.
Just a standard d20. I think it's a +1. Whoa!
Whoa! All those
Yeah.
crits.
Yeah, he's really good at navigating this horse. Like he's just basically picking all the nice soft spots to travel on to make it so you can't hear much of the footfalls at all. Surprisingly for a horse. It's actually just astonishing. I'm the dungeon master. I don't know how he's doing it.
And during all this, would my ritual be done by the time we get back to Fireshear?
Yes.
And should I be rolling stealth, or am I just sitting there because I'm pretty much out in my own zone? You know.
Yeah, you're pretty much. Yeah, you're pretty much relying on his stealth, which is very good because of the pass without a trace as well. So he's got a 31. So you're fine. So yeah, you guys are headed back to Fireshear, and you're very quiet. As you guys are approaching, you guys start to see these two frost giants that Callista was talking to you about before. They're kind of on the edges, the outskirts of the city of Fireshear. It looks like they're just kind of rummaging through, like moving some stones away from a structure that they just totally crushed and smashed. And as you're approaching, you hear this loud, billowing, almost berserker-like laugh. And Ashlyn, it's very loud for you because you're standing right on the shoulder of Harshnag. And Harshnag makes eye contact with these two frost giants. Are you ready? And he starts running as fast as he can with his great axe straight towards the two frost giants, and that's where we will end tonight's session.
What? That's not what Callista said. No one listens to her ever.
he's like in a full sprint, like headed
Oh,
towards these
boy.
guys.
I like him. I like him.
Great.
I like
so
the way
great.
he brings chaos. He's cool.
And Ashland's like, I'm gonna kick a giant in the face.
Literally, she's on his shoulder.
Yes.
Perfect height.
Oh.
Just because I forgot to click my button earlier.
Oh yeah, your portents. Yep. Get those ready because you'll need them.
Ashland and the giant, man, I ship them so much. They're both little crazy, murder happy, cute little dumb creatures. I love them.
Ashland, I'm going to go ahead, since you're kind of on his shoulder and getting a better look at, well, most of you guys would see this. The two frost giants that you see, one of them is a huge and muscular, masculine-looking female frost giant.
Ooh, Butch.
She has a short ponytail that sticks straight up on her head, and her armor is very tight and barely covers her features. She is wielding this massive stone hammer that looks like it's homemade with this giant boulder. It looks like somebody split a piece of wood and put a big rock in between it and roped it together. And that's what she's using to kind of smash these houses. The other one is a male frost giant. He's kind of skinny and gangly looking, but he's got this enormous forehead. And he's wielding a great club, and he's kind of just like using it to like move the stones away that the masculine looking like female frost giant is like smashing all the buildings, and he's kind of just there like picking through the stuff and like putting stuff into bags and things as he's going through. And now they're both just looking with eyes wide as this frost giant with a with an elf monk sitting on its shoulder is just charging out from the light foliage on the outskirts of the city. They have not noticed the people in the air at this point. The only two they've noticed are the frost giant and the monk. So well done, everybody. Well done. That was fun. There was a lot of really cool role play in there, and
It was super fun.
a lot of weird situations. We've got to.
Oh man, that was bizarre.
I had a feeling the elder Orangepeel would once again walk at some point. At some point.
Like, I instantly knew. I'm like, oh, this is gonna. What the moment you took that still, I'm like, oh. I can't even speak. I'm speechless because I just saw it coming a mile away and I should have known.
I had no idea. I was so pure and innocent, and then it happened.
Like, cover his eyes. Why? I'm like, oh god.
She has no idea what's coming.
Well,
And
excellent.
the only
job.
reason I could do that is because of the
Because of the what?
Because of
short
what
rest.
Short rest.
Arcane recovery.
That was it. Yep. All right. So, Nat 20. Who do we got for a Nat 20 this week? Everybody?
Molfen
dear
for
God.
his sick
I
revival.
I would vote Molfen because that was pretty awesome, but I don't want to reward bad behavior.
I
Oh man.
I say
I want-
Ashlyn for her little jellyfish.
Ferguson.
For Ferguson.
Oh, when you pulled that out when you were talking to Harshnag,
Like instant.
it was there was no hesitation whatsoever.
See, and I was leading towards Ashland for the, I guess I'll call it D-bag move of, I'm going to use my nat 20 and steal your thunder.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Although using the animate dead was like pretty damn smart. That probably
Yeah.
saved our butt. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm
That
still
That was
biting.
great.
That was
I'm
that
still
was
biting.
yeah, that was an interesting idea. I did not anticipate that happening. It definitely changed the outcome of what happened. So, yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and award it to Molfen this week because I think Callista and Ashlyn had it the last. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and give a nat 20 to Molfen. I'll go ahead and move it over there so that way you'll have it for next time. There's that wonderful green die with the magical 20 on it for you.
We all crit at the end. That was wild.
That was epic.
And when
That was That's
Yeah.
4. I mean, if you count mine, that's 4 crits. That's
Yeah.
epic.
That was amazing. And add the 10 on top of it with Pass Without a Trace.
Wow.
I know.
Man, how about Lachlan when Molfin woke him up? My goodness. I'm going to show you something. Don't
Keep your shirt
off.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
I mean,
Gross.
that was
I
with...
instantly thought of like, there's a mole on my back. Can you look at it for me?
Yes.
And he said that, and my first reaction, I so wanted to say, "Of course, my shirt is on. It's my pants that are off." It's like, no, that's
amazing.
What's the rating
Amazing.
on this stream again?
That's amazing. Amazing.
PG-13.
Barely PG.
That.
Well, so next time that we get together, we will be at episode 31. And at this point, I do want to make a special announcement that on May the 4th, we will be having a special one-shot run by our very own Christy Mystic Water. And I'm so excited. I'm so pumped up. We're going to continue on every Friday until May 4th with Storm King's Thunder. We'll take a break on May 4th for that one shot, and then we'll continue on some more Storm King's Thunder on Friday night afterwards. So make sure you guys tune in every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, to check out and hang out with our wonderful cast and adventuring party as they continue through the trek of Storm King's Thunder. Anybody else have any announcements or things they want to throw out there to our community?
Let me make some nerds mad. May the 4th be with you.
Oh, there we go.
Oh! Yes! Yes! I approve.
if you follow Molfin on Twitter, you can find Zoss through my Twitter. Feel free to go rage at her.
Yeah,
I won't give her Twitter out, but I'll tell you how to find it.
Yeah, make sure you guys check out all of our. Not only do our cast members have Twitter accounts, but a lot of our characters from this campaign have Twitter accounts, and their tweets actually talk about what's happening in this campaign. So it's pretty amazing to follow them and to get insight on what they're thinking as they post their tweets on social media. So make sure you check that out. Don't forget, on Monday nights, we do a live stream of Tomb of Annihilation. Our DM, Matthew, who plays Molfin in this campaign, he runs our adventures. Sarah is also in that campaign. And Lachlan MG is our producer for that as well. So we've got a lot of people involved in that. And is there something that I'm forgetting? I don't
Insight check Monday afternoons.
Yeah,
Insight check.
on Mondays.
Insight check on Monday afternoons. What were you saying,
It's-
Zoss?
Also, Matthew's birthday recently passed.
Yeah.
Happy birthday!
And it was just a week or two ago was Zoss's birthday.
24
Yeah.
hours
So
ago.
yeah. So we've had 2 birthdays.
Oh.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So we've
Maybe
had
Zoss. Yeah, Zoss's birthday and Matthew's birthday.
Yeah.
and
Last
Two
week,
Aries.
was it last week? Yeah.
Hey, I wasn't gonna say it, but hey.
I knew you were thinking it.
So yeah. So happy birthday, everyone. And thank you guys once again for tuning in. Thank you, Keplin, for sticking around with us. We
Was that
appreciate
for
you
his
watching.
birthday, and I get one for
Yeah.
mine. Oh, and my phone is ringing. Wow, that's lovely. I'm going to have to answer that because I think that's my grandfather.
All right. Well, we're about ready to go offline anyway, Zoss. So you go ahead and take that.
Okay, I have to.
Just don't be on Discord too. But well, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you hit that follow button if you haven't done so already. Make sure you check us out on YouTube and hit the subscribe button. You can catch up on all our shenanigans and wonderful campaigns there and everything that we do right here in the Proficiency Bonus channel there. We're grateful for our community. We're grateful for our viewers and our followers and our subscribers. I did want to throw out a special thanks to DOS Player 2 for resubscribing to our channel. So thank you so much for your support. And make sure you tune in and catch us live sometime. It's a good time. We have a blast every single time. So at this point, I just wanted to say that if you ever get in a situation where you run face to face into an undead elderly halfling,
Yes.
please don't forget to add your proficiency bonus. Everybody have a wonderful night, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.